Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2024 BMW Championship. My name is Eric, and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying to hit the optimal lineup, or at least in these videos, try to target the optimal lineup. And we go about that by looking at the golf course. We look into the tournament information, pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. We'll cover a review of the previous tournament, which was the FedEx St. Jude, which I was super close to winning a lot of money. So I will discuss that. I'll discuss the sweet spot process, tell you guys how well it did. And then we're going to jump right into the bucket system for the BMW Championship. We'll go over the Marquee Tee Times, which, if you're unfamiliar with those two things, they basically are... I don't want to say answers because I don't want to make it super definitive, but they're the closest thing you're going to find, or the closest thing you're going to hear as to what you should do with your lineup building this week. We have several weeks, several months, several years of data that have proven the bucket system as well as the Marquee Tee Times to be spot on. So I'll be covering that for the FedEx, or for the BMW Championship. Now, I will say this, the BMW Championship is being played at a different golf course than we normally see. So there is some trepidation when it comes to going all in on the bucket system. But the Marquee Tee Times they just continue to prove to be on point, complete, like 100% correct. And again, I'll go over that. Not only a review of the FedEx St. Jude, but also we'll go over the BMW Championship with all of that. Now, before we get into that, I like to tell you about giveaways I like to do. I have what I call a subscriber giveaway. I've got weekly as well as monthly giveaways, or at least one monthly giveaway, but we obviously have several weekly giveaways throughout the month. And the way to get entries into these giveaways is to be subscribed. Comment here. Actually, what I'll be doing is at the top of every hour, I forgot to do this during hour 2 last week, last week, I will be doing roll calls. Now, what a roll call is, basically I go, okay, chat, give me your best golfer you want to play this week, or type this word into chat. This is the roll call. That's how you get an entry into the giveaway. Those entries then are used, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So I had 13 entries last week. There was, again, a roll call 1. Let me just zoom in all the way. We had 1 roll call, and then another way you guys can get entries is by leaving comments on my videos after they go live. So obviously we're live right now, but if you aren't catching this live, it's going to go on replay. When it's on replay, if you comment down below in the comment section, just give me your favorite golfer you want to play this week, or say hello, or whatever. It does not matter. You're going to get an entry into the giveaway. Super easy, super simple. And again, you gotta be subscribed. You gotta comment. You gotta participate. So it's my way of rewarding you for rewarding me. Because the more participation we get on this channel, the more it feeds into the YouTube algorithm. And that's the whole goal, is to get more people to show up and check out this stream. So like I said, I've got 13 total entries. We might as well just go ahead and run this giveaway right now. So let's see here. All I gotta do is hit a Y for this, and we will have our winner. But a drum roll first. Ryan Henson, congratulations, man. 1 entry. That's all it takes. He was here for roll call number 1. Said, hey, hello, typed in sweet spot or something. I don't know. I don't remember what roll call number 1 was. He gets a win. So if you're all wondering, should you participate? Does it even matter? Well, 1 entry is all it takes. And so $5 are Ryan's. Ryan, you're going to have to let me know where to send it to. I forgot. And last week's winner, I don't remember who it was. Please let me know, because no one reached out to me to be like, hey, I'm your winner. And I think I know it was a winner we've had before, but I just don't remember people's information. So reach out to me and let me know, and I will send you the $5. Okay, so that was our weekly giveaway, and just to throw that back on the screen, super easy, super simple. Be subscribed, comment below. This all goes towards the monthly giveaway too. And in case you guys don't know the monthly giveaway, I will give away $100 if our goal that you see all the way over there to the left is met by the end of the month. So I have 781 out of 800 subscribers. One, thank you all for getting me to 781 subscribers. Really appreciate that. But we need 19 new ones before I give away $100. If not, I'll give someone a t-shirt as well as a 1 month subscription to SweetSpotDFS.com. Which AJ Love says, I believe it was Lee. That's right. I think it was Lombardi Lee. Yeah. So Lombardi, you're going to have to reach out to me. And I think Darrel Mooney was our monthly winner, which I don't have his shirt size. I've been thinking about doing a merch drop once again. The payout through Rainmakers kind of helps out with that. I think I could probably put a merch drop in there. It's probably going to be for like a white t-shirt or a white sweatshirt, since I've got black. Kind of want to do something with white. So that's kind of the thought process there. What's going on, everyone? Nice to see everyone in the chat for the BMW Championship. Last week was pretty quiet. I think we had like a total of like 5 people coming in and out of chat. I mean, it was a little bit more than that, but it felt like 5 people. Anyways, those are the giveaways. Again, weekly, monthly. All of these entries go into the monthly, and it really just takes one winner. So if you aren't here during the live chat, yet again, just a reminder, you can go ahead and leave a comment down during the replay, and you'll get an entry that way. Now, outside of those giveaways, did you know that I've got a website called SweetSpotDFS.com? You can find a link for this in the description down below. There's a lot of nice little nuggets that come with this website. There will be more. I'm always adding to it, and I'm always working on it. Believe it or not, I'm still working on the database, and oh my God, everyone. I was working on this last week, and when I pick it back up and I'm like scrubbing the data and stuff like that, I look through it and I go, why am I doing it this way? And I'll sit there and I'll think about it for a little while. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this and that, but couldn't I do it this way? And then I'm thinking more about it and I go, no, we're going to keep it that way. Well, let's double check if I've got that for every table that I'm creating. And I get to one of my tables, and there are error codes in my table. Long story short, you got no idea what this means when it comes to building a database or anything like that. Those error codes are not going to be friendly when it comes to like me putting together reports for this website. So I had to go through and scrub all of it, clean it all up. It's good now. Now I can continue resuming, adding more information to it. I'm all the way to the Memorial Tournament of this year. When I can get it all the way caught up, that is when I'm going to publish it to the website. So I apologize for those that have been waiting forever. I will make it up to you for sure. I will definitely make it up to you. But in the meantime, there are certain things that I provide under the Fantasy Tools view here. If you go to the 7K combo buckets, which I'll open that up. I'm also going to open up the members only tab because we're going to review this. I'm going to show you what's on this website that I think it's worth your while. One, you could use the cheat sheet. You can go and check out the cheat sheet for this week. I update this, or I provide a new cheat sheet every Monday night for the new tournament. So obviously this is the BMW Championship. Everything that I'll be going over in this video, you can find on this cheat sheet. You can also check the cheat sheet out down in the description. There's a link for it there. So you don't have to go to the website if you don't want to, but you can find everything you want here on SweetSpotDFS.com. The cheat sheet's here. You can also click here, and boom, it brings you to the Google Sheet, which again, you can follow along with me throughout this video while I go over everything. You've got the Dream Sheet. We've got the bucket system. Again, everything I cover, you can find on the cheat sheet. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to open that back up. So the cheat sheet's there. Hey, do you want access to the optimizer? Because I build lineups at the end of this video with the optimizer. You can find the optimizer right here. I didn't click on it. My bad. By the way, before that loads, this is what the optimizer looks like. This is what I build lineups with. You got names, prices, the buckets. We've got the conditionals in here. I already preload this for you. So if you want access to it, go to SweetSpotDFS.com. You're going to get this little pop-up that shows up. Put your email address right in here. Hit request now. I will get an email that I will have to respond to in time. Now, it's not an automatic one. It doesn't just, boom, shoot an optimizer to you. It sends an email to me. And then when I see the email, I will then send you a reply back that'll say, hey, thanks for requesting it through the website. Here's the optimizer, and I'll send it to you. So, and I also have little disclaimers down here that you guys can read if you want. But yeah, if you want the optimizer, just do it this way. It's so much simpler. You can also email me right there at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com asking for the optimizer. Whatever way you want to do it, I will send it to you. That's just kind of my thank you for, you know, coming to the website and doing all that stuff. Or just being interested. Now, if you're wondering, like, how do I sign up for SweetSpotDFS.com? It's super simple. Go to SweetSpotDFS.com. I'm in incognito mode, so it doesn't have any of my stored information. Go to login. You're going to see username, password. You're not a user, hit join now. Select one of these payment plans. If you want to check out the bucket or the 7K combo buckets, you got to have a free plan. If you want to check out the members only, it'll be weekly and below. So select whatever one you want, and then it's going to send you to another page where you just put in a username, an email address, all that good stuff. You should be prompted with a CAPTCHA before submitting and continuing. If you don't get that, refresh the page or click on the little CAPTCHA thing down here in the bottom right. You can also email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com, letting me know, like, you can't log in. I'll create you an account that you can go in and change the password for, and then it's just yours. So if you do have an issue with it, let me know. I know some people have, and there's something to do with their cache on their browser. I don't know how to get around it for certain people. It is what it is. So again, super simple. Now here's why I think you should come to SweetSpotDFS.com. I've got these things called combo buckets that I'm currently doing for all of you because I don't have the database connected to the website. So what these are, basically putting golfers into groups and telling you how many golfers you should select from these groups. Select 1 to 2 golfers from tier 1 from the 7K combo buckets, 0 to 2 from tier 2, and 0 to 1 from tier 3. Well, look at tier 1. We've got Alex Noren and Robert McIntyre. Robert McIntyre was in the optimal lineup. He was also in the Sweet Spot optimal. So too was Alex Noren. We go to tier 2. You've got Wyndham Clark there. That was in the GPP winning lineup. But nobody from the optimal and nobody in the Sweet Spot optimal. And then down here in tier 3, the only guy that broke the top 20 was Matt Fitzpatrick. If you, like, the thing that I love about this is it's telling you who to avoid, basically. Don't play Day, don't play Fitzpatrick, don't play Strachan, don't play Bradley. Simple. Cross them out of your player pool. When you get up to tier 2, it's like, be careful who you choose. When you get to tier 1, you know, you probably want to select one of them. And this is how you can get on Robert McIntyre, especially if you already know you don't want to be on Jordan Spieth. So it's pretty simple to follow along with that. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. But these were the 7K combo buckets. We go to the members only page. You get combo buckets for the 10, 9, and 8K range. If we come down here, the 10K combo buckets these buckets don't really work like the 7K combo buckets. I like to tier them out. So Ludwig actually had more stats that previous top 10 finishers in the 10K range had than any of the other golfers in the 10K range. Doesn't mean you have to play them. I mean, there's only one golfer, so the percentage of one of those guys, the only one to be inside the top 10 is not super high, but it should, you know, we'd be thinking this differently if Ludwig had a good result. Sometimes you got to use your eyeballs to go with the stats, and right now, I mean, like, the eyeballs for Ludwig were, he could do well. It's Ludwig Oberg, like, that's it. But we all were on Scottie Scheffler and Xander Schauffele. Like, everybody was feeling those guys a bit more than everyone else. Well, Xander was in quote-unquote tier 2. and he was in all of he was in the optimal, the sweet spot optimal, and the GPP winning lineup. Scottie Scheffler at 12-4 didn't one, he finished 4th place, but because he finished 4th place at $12,400, and Xander obviously finished better than him, there was no way you were ever going to play Scottie Scheffler. This is like one of those first times that the combo buckets didn't have Scheffler at one of the top tiers. So again, this is a way to avoid playing somebody. Now, again, Scheffler finished 4th, which wasn't terrible, but at his price point, you can't hit the optimal lineup that way. He has to finish 1st or 2nd, maybe even 3rd, but 4th place is kind of just not good enough. Here's the beauty of it. The 9K combo buckets, this is again for the FedEx St. Jude. Look at all the golfers in the 9K range that had nearly the same point totals. You see this 22 to 20? This is basically like, hey, select 2 to 3 golfers. Really, it was just select 2. If you follow along with the video I had last week for the FedEx St. Jude, I was saying I'm kind of digging a 9-9-8-8-7-6 build. And if you were there Wednesday night for the members only stream, I was building lineups exclusively with those golfers. I went with Cantlay and then a mixture of all of these guys. Fleetwood, Hovland, Matsuyama, and Connors. And I had some good runs for winning a lot of money. I think Sunday afternoon I was up $5,700. And then it all came crashing down because Cantlay couldn't continue to perform. I also had Denny McCarthy in some of my lineups that I was hoping, he could go on a birdie stretch. That would have won me a lot of money if those 2 golfers were able to, just birdie out. But obviously they weren't good enough to do so. This is how it got me on Matsuyama. I did play some Hovland, but I didn't really play any Hovland with Matsuyama. I played Hovland with Cantlay, or I played Matsuyama with Cantlay because I locked in Cantlay. But here, anybody remember me talking about Burns last week? Obviously, I know that Shot Like Harden loves Burns, but I was on Burns exclusively. And if you watched the members only video Wednesday night, again, if you want access to that, you got to be a white tier member and above on YouTube. I built all my lineups. I mean, I was anchoring around Burns in at least half of those lineups. There was Burns on Bermuda, Burns in these 8K combo buckets. Like, it just all made sense. And look at this, Sungjae and Sahith. How many of those streamers out there were on either Sungjae or Sahith? Well, the 8K combo buckets came to fruition. They're at tier 3, which isn't a great bucket to select from. Sometimes it proves us wrong, but most of the time, all the percentages work out for us. It proves us right. So that's how I got away from playing Sungjae and Sahith. I did play a lot of Justin Thomas, so that was bad. But basically, I played a lot of Burns and mixed up Burns with a lot of the guys in here. JT was like the only main one. I did anchor some Tom Kim lineups there, but it got me on Burns and Horschel, Burns and Rye, Burns and Lowry. I mean, those obviously didn't finish well, but yeah, that's how, and that works. And then look at this, 6K combo buckets. There were 2 golfers that were in the optimal lineup. Nick Dunlap here in tier 1, and in tier 2, Denny McCarthy. So it also played well with the 6K combo buckets. Again, you got to be a paying member on SweetSpotDFS.com to see this, or be a paying member on YouTube for the white tier and above. So I'll go over my buckets, these combo buckets, tomorrow night when I go live at 9 p.m. when I build lineups for myself. I literally use this. If you doubt me following my own process, go check Wednesday's videos out. It's how I build my lineups. I literally follow this kind of exactly 100% and build lineups that way. And there is a huge surprise this week. I already have the bucket combos built out. Huge surprise this week with which golfer from the 9K range is at the top. At the top. 9K golfers. I'm not going to spoil it here because I'm going to use this as a tease for you to either watch the video tomorrow night or sign up on SweetSpotDFS.com and become a paying member. It's funny. I think it's super funny. I was just talking to a friend about it. I'm like, guess who's on the top of the 9K combos? It's It's fun. It's crazy. So anyways, that's SweetSpotDFS.com. I like to just do my 2 seconds. Really, it's like 5 minutes. Or what are we at? Like 15 minutes, I guess. Talking about the website, because everything that I do with DFS, whether it's through this channel or through the YouTube channel, or even when I'm just building lineups myself, you can find at SweetSpotDFS.com. And there's articles there that you can read to learn more about the whole SweetSpot process, all that good stuff. So, yeah. Cheat sheet, optimizer, website, weekly and monthly giveaways. We covered it all. Let's get into this thing. Let's start with a course the course and tournament information. Actually, you know what? No, time out. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. My bad. I'm trying to go super fast, but I saw a lot of people posting. So AJ Love, what's going on? Eric Carnivore, hello, sir. Shalik Harden, nice to see you. Josh Allen, nice to see you as well. Who else we got in here? Joshua Maz, howdy. Howdy, Patna. Dennis Ames, what's going on, man? Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that I need to answer right away? Just saw a post. Scottie, Xander. Is that they're playing together? By the way, they're number 1 and 2 in my model, which super crazy, right? They're also 1 and 2 in another model that I have that you can only see at certain avenues. The only problem with that build is that everyone is picking the same bottom guys. What do you mean by that, AJ Love? Like 25% of my lineups are Xander, Scottie so far, but there is only so much you can do after that. I think there will be a lot of dupes. You know, there are 50 golfers. You still have hundreds of thousands of combinations you can build, even with 50 golfers. So I shouldn't say hundreds of thousands. It probably is, actually. Actually, I want to do that really quick, just to show you guys how like the raw way of doing it, or like kind of the simple way to do it. So we have what? 7 golfers that are in the 10K range. Let's just say you got to use one of 7 golfers. So basically it's like 1 of 7. So let's go times, I think there are 8 golfers in the 9K range. Let me double check this. Hold on, I might be wrong. I'm going to use my tournament page here. This is the engine of the combos. So we got 7, 8, 10, 10. So basically what you do is you take 7, multiply it by 8, multiply it by 10, and then multiply it by 10, multiply it by 9, because we're going to do the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, just to show you how many combinations of lineups you can build. So to see combinations, you go like something like this. And it doesn't work perfectly, so it's just a raw number. So it's 7 times 8 times 10 times 10 times 9 times 15. Yeah, so 756,000 combinations, give or take. Give or take probably 50,000. There could be 50,000 more, and there could be 50,000 less. And the way that I did that is you take, you know, random mix of 7K, you need 1 of the 10K golfers, 1 of the 9K golfers, so it's 7 times 8. You're just grabbing 1 because it's whatever 8. 1 of 8, 1 of 7, 1 of 10. You want 2 of 10, which looks like you want 1 of 10, and then you take 1 of those guys out, and then you want 1 of 9, and then you take that out, and then you've got 15 left. So you will have 756,000 different combinations of lineups you can build this week. Yeah, dupes could be high, but they also don't have to be high. You know, like we could actually have all unique lineups, but obviously that won't happen because people will choose certain golfers. I'm just gonna put this up right now. We're gonna get back to this. See, they give you nail the top 6 instead of Scottie, Xander. You're automatically different from the field. Yeah, you're probably right. I think 85% of lineups will have at least one of the two of Scottie or Xander, as they should, though. I mean, like, one of those guys is going to be inside the top 5, and they most likely will be in the optimal lineup also. I'm in love with Wyndham Finau this week. I'm buying into the home cooking. Yep, same here. Your average housewife is going to select the top 2 guys. Howdy. I won everything last week if I had any Dunlap, dude. That sucks. Yeah, it would have been great. You had Scottie, Burns, and Decky in your lineups. That's awesome. I made a $40 profit. I'm happy with that. I won $15. I had Scottie, Burns, but that was it. Tom Kim fell apart. I only played Burns because of the show. Good call. Love that. Rory was broken by Pinehurst. Yep. I could see any 9K golfer at the top there. All solid players. That's true. Scottie, Xander builds. I meant by my comment. Oh, okay. So starting with Scottie and Xander together? Oof. That's difficult, man. All right. Let's get into the tournament and course information. As always, I like to start here with the tournament fact sheets you can find at the gcsaa.org. This gives us a lot of data points you can use for researching. That's basically all that I use this for. You get the golf course, the tournament information, the par, the yardage, 8,100 yards. Of course, you're going to hear this everywhere. Guess what? We're at elevation. This is in Colorado. They're at 6,000. They're at 60-some thousand, not 60, Jesus. There's somewhere between 6,000 and 6,500 feet at elevation. So they're way up in the mountains. And what that does is per 1,000 yards, you add 2% to the distance, or you take 2% away. So at 8,100 yards, if we're at, let's just say 6,000, let's make it real. Let's make it real round. So at 6,000 yards or 6,000 feet above elevation. Not above elevation. You know what I'm saying. We're at elevation above sea level, 6,000 feet above sea level. For each 1,000, so that means each 1,000 you do 2%. So obviously we're at 6 1,000s. That would be 12%. So what I like to do is just basically, look at this from, you could go 1%. I like to just do 10%. It's easy, 10%, and then it's basically you add 160 to it. So 10%, you minus 810 from this number, essentially, and you're at 7,300 yards. And then you minus 160. So these guys are going to be basically playing a golf course when you convert it at 7,100 yards. It's going to be like a 7,100 yard golf course, but because they're at elevation, the ball travels a little bit further in the air, and it shortens the golf course. So that's the rough way to go about it, and I know I butchered it to some extent, but anyways, I think after the conversion, the adjusted yardage is going to be like 7,000, 7,100 yards, something similar to that. It's going to be what? If I do it the way I said it, 170, so it's 7,170 is what I'm getting in my head. It could be right, could be wrong, but it's just gonna be under 7,200 yards. Let's put it that way. Average green size, you can use that for data point for researching. Number of holes that water's in play, there's 10. Now, I know there's some people out there that mapped out the golf course and put it on video. Go check them out. I think Regamin did it, which was good. I know Byron, Back Nine Bets, he did it as well. So you guys can go check out those podcasts. I'm not going to waste the time here in this one to talk about it. We do have Bentgrass and POA, and I believe I kept I didn't. So guess what? I'm just going to go cheat sheet. If it's going to cooperate with me. Go to the cheat sheet, and I'm just going to show you guys. I have, well, it says Bermuda, but that is incorrect. I forgot to update it. Let me just update it with my sheet. I've got Bentgrass and POA. So basically, I'm just going to copy this over to the cheat sheet. That's what it's supposed to be. You can see all the grass stats here. The grass stats go back to 2013 for overall bent grass, as well as like the, man, all over the place. This is the only thing I forgot to update. So we got bent grass, these two columns here, bent events, as well as overall bent, go back to 2013. It's their average finishing position and the total amount of bent grass golf courses that they've played at, or the number of tournaments they did. Their success rates of finishing inside the top 10. And then the last 365 days, what was their average finishing position on bent grass golf courses? Scottie Scheffler, 5.90. He just obliterates everybody. Same goes for POA. So again, this goes back to 2013. I have their average finishing position on POA, how many events they've played, their success rate of finishing inside the top 10, and then the last 365 days, what is their average finishing position? Again, Scottie Scheffler blows everyone out of the water. So you guys have access to this on the cheat sheet. You'll also have access to it on the optimizer. I do provide it there as well. So going back to here, again, turf grass, to me, the most important thing to look at when it comes to these tournament fact sheets. And quite frankly, when it comes to just any kind of course fit, I would look a lot at the turf grass. I'd also map out the golf course and see what type of shot shapes are required or necessary, and try to figure out which golfers better fit the golf course that way. I did not map the golf course this week. Normally I do. I didn't have time, so I apologize for that. You're gonna you can use Jack Nicklaus as your course architect, and again, okay, so 6,400 feet above sea level is the highest point. There we go. 400 feet of elevation change. That's nuts. So yeah. Again, you can find this at the gcsaa.org. And again, there it's all data points. So whatever website you use, if these data points are in there, I think, again, turf grass is by far the most important thing. You can use, I don't know, probably just use that. Turf grass. It's in Colorado. This is Wyndham Clark. It's like it's a home field event for Wyndham Clark. Obviously, everyone's talking about that. You have Tony Finau that also has played at elevation, whether it's in Hawaii or in Utah, where he currently lives. So you can go that way. We'll talk more about both Wyndham Clark and Tony Finau later. I'm not going to get too caught up on it, but again, I did not map out this golf course. Normally I do. Basically, I'd come here to the golf course and you can see I do have the par, I have the yardages, but nothing in them. Same goes with off the tee and approach. So I apologize for that. I could not get around to it. Hopefully in the future I will. But talking about the tournament, this is obviously the second round of the playoffs. There are 50 golfers in the event. There's no cut. So you're going to get 4 rounds out of everybody. Your strength of field 678, so you can use that if everyone's still doing, or if the website you use still does the old way of scoring strength of field. The only way that they're going to do that is if they already know the formula that goes into that. I do, and that's why I use the strength of field this way. I like these numbers better than the new way, where a lot of the numbers are very close to each other, and it's like 2 points, you know, says like that's a big difference if there's a 2-point difference. I like to see like hundreds of points of difference to see, you know, the difference between this and say the Corrales Punta Cana, which a lot of times is 67. You know, for strength of field rating, this is 678. So obviously you got a lot of good golfers here. If you can use that as a data point when it comes to researching who does better at golf courses where the strength of field is super high, super strong, we should say. So yeah, that's available to you on the cheat sheet, I believe. And that's all that I really have to say about the course and tournament information. I'm going to read up with chat again. Rusty Olson, what's going on, man? Rory sucked it up. Watch Rory this week. Everyone will be off of him and hate him even more. Yeah. Okay. So talking about the golf course, it's that elevation, right? I looked into a lot of the tournaments at the DP World Tour where there was elevations, like Grand Sur, the Czech Masters, I believe that's the tournament that's played in Grand Sur or something like that. Alex Noren, very good performance there. Matt Fitzpatrick, also very good performances at that tournament. And then sneakily, one of you guys just said it. Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy tied for first place at that event, lost in a playoff, but I kind of like a lot of the Euro golfers, especially those that have played those events at elevation. You don't really get elevation on the PGA Tour. You kind of do when you go to Hawaii. You kind of do during the Barracuda, the Truckee, the tournament in Nevada. You got some golf courses that have a little bit other, like elevation. I can't remember. A lot of people are making like comps to the Memorial Tournament, which I just don't understand. I know it's a Jack Nicklaus golf course, but this tournament is going to play so much different than just a flat, not even so much a flat, but a golf tournament that's played at sea level or close to sea level. I think because the ball's going to be in the air longer. If they're going to be hitting distances, so think about this. If a ball goes 400 yards, which some people are kind of forecasting, we're going to see 400-yard drives. The ball's traveling 400 yards. It's going to be in the air a lot longer than a ball would be at 300 yards, going 300 yards. And if the ball's going to be in the air longer, there's going to be a higher chance that that ball goes sideways a little bit more. So to me, it's like, if you're playing the Memorial Tournament and you hit a crooked shot, it isn't going to go as crooked as you would here or as it would here. So I don't see how you can comp the Memorial. I just don't see the comps anyways. Someone else would have to come into this chat and tell me why you would comp. Like, and what I mean by comp is comparing the Memorial Tournament, Jack's Place. I already forgot the golf course name. The heck? Oh, Muirfield Village. Comparing that golf course to this golf course, I think, is just weird. To me, it's weird. You guys want to go for it? I think you're going to have better comps looking at like Hawaii, like Tournament of Champions, not the other one. The Tournament of Champions is going to have a lot of elevation change there, and it is played a little bit at elevation above sea level. So I would definitely do that. God, what other golf courses are there? Augusta's a good comp. See, that doesn't make sense to me either. I get why if you're gonna comp, if you're going to, what was I just talking about? Muirfield Village. If you're gonna comp the Memorial Tournament, you obviously have to include Augusta because those two courses are very much comparable to each other. I just don't get it for this one. It makes no sense to me. I think, again, someone's going to have to come out and tell me why that's the case. Like, because you guys all probably listen to all the other streamers and stuff like that talk about these comp courses. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, TPC Summerlin. What is Vegas? I'm just going to look up Las Vegas sea level. 2,000 feet. So we're going to compare Las Vegas at 2,000 feet. Surrounding peaks of elevation. Okay, maybe Las Vegas is not a great one, but let's go TPC Summerlin. $2,700 feet. Okay, so half of what this course is going to be at. That's also, it's just asinine to me. I think that's just lazy. Honestly, I will call people out. I think it's lazy to compare TPC Summerlin I'm trying to look at a golf course in the DP World Tour. I just think it's lazy to say that. Let's see, Muirfield Village. 910 feet. Dublin, Ohio, 910 feet. There's no comps. It makes no sense. Okay, whatever. That's my soapbox for that. I think it's just silly. And if you guys want to see what I'm doing, I'm just Googling this. There's Muirfield Village. I'll go backwards for you guys. I tried looking Grandser. I can't remember the one that's in Switzerland. Oh, I think this is it right here. 1,900 meters. I don't even know how to... I'd have to look at the golf course. TPC Summerlin, right here, 2,700 feet. But then you scroll down, it goes to 3,500 feet. So it's close. Not quite there yet, though. And I looked up Las Vegas. So, I don't know. You guys want to get your jollies off with comparing Augusta and Memorial? I think that's silly. I think if you're going to... If it comes to fruition that there's a comp to that, you want to know why? It's because Scottie Scheffler's in the field. And Scottie's going to play well here. Xander's going to play well here. You're gonna have a lot of golfers like Patrick Cantlay is gonna play well here. That every hole video they talk about it being built to rival Augusta, but in the West, I think they using it because of the hills. Okay. Okay. I mean, there's an added element to it about elevation that these golfers are gonna have to put in. Okay. Actually, I understand the comps at the ground level. Like, you're going to have all these hills like you would at Augusta, but the elevation, I swear to God, is going to play so much different than what the ground game is going to do, like at Augusta. Maybe the greens can be comparable. And in that case, then yeah, I'd put some emphasis on it, because then... you spend half your time on the greens as a golfer, as a good golfer. You have a hill, but your yard isn't comparable to Augusta. Yeah, me too, man. Same. Anyways, that's my soapbox. I heard a lot of those comparisons. I'm just like, what? This is going to be a completely different golf course than any of those. There's no comparisons. This golf course is, it might look something like Augusta, and I guess when you get to the greens and maybe around the greens when it comes to short game, that would make more sense. But any comparison you're going to get in results is going to be because the best golfers in the world that play at Augusta are also playing here, and they're just better than everyone else. That's the only, like, this is what I'll implore all of the, if anyone that watches this channel, if you can somehow figure out Will Zalatoris, do you think Will Zalatoris is going to play well at this golf course because he plays well at Augusta? That's what I want to know. That would make sense to me. Adam Hadwin, same thing happens. Where's Corey Connors? Is Corey Connors going to play well here because he plays well at Augusta? Possibly. Should we be looking a lot into Adam Scott and Jason Day because they also play well at Augusta? Matt Fitzpatrick, by the way, sneaky play this week. Like I said, that tournament, the Czech Masters that's played in Switzerland, this guy has been at the top 10 of those leaderboards like several years in a row. Maybe not this last year, but if you go look at results, that's a pretty sneaky play. So that's something to look into, and so too is Alex Noren. Just throwing that out there. Okay. I live in Utah. I can go from 3,500 sea level to 6,000 in 1 hour. I've driven through Utah a couple times. It is beautiful. I love it. I love going down those hills at 70 miles an hour, not even have to tap the brakes or tap the gas. And if I were to put it in neutral, it probably would go even faster. Because of the creeks and water fixtures too, but I agree, no comparison. I'm just saying, when they built it, they tried to rival Augusta. Okay, hey, it's great. Good 2 cents. The old Muirfield course superintendent is now at Castle Pines. Okay, he didn't shape the golf course though. Just throwing that out there. But that's good knowledge, good information. All right. I don't mean to throw shade at anybody here in chat, unless you are a streamer that has talked about that. It's my only 2 cents. I think just being a person that creates content and saying, hey, you should look at golfers that played at Muirfield and not really provide a reason why. That's specific to either betting or specific to which golfers would do well. Again, if we see Scottie up there, if we see Xander, if we see Rory up at the top of the leaderboard, it isn't because it's a comparison to Augusta. It's because they're the best golfers in the world. All right. Hey, how about this? Let's get in the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. Sponsored by the Fantasy Golf Pod. Did you know I'm going to play golf with Chad this weekend? We're golfing in a tournament together. Chad is the host of the Fantasy Golf Pod, and I think he's starting to go live Wednesdays with the Wheel of Destiny, as well as some other DFS information pieces at 2:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I think he does that because he likes the number 420. For reasons I wouldn't know. Of course, I know why, but yeah. You can check him out Wednesdays. I want to say he's trying to get Sunday streams going together, but his co-host hasn't been able to do it the last couple weeks because of family obligations, I think. So he's trying to get that going on. It just hasn't happened. Go check them out. They're the one. Chad is giving us the extra $50 to put into the monthly giveaway pot, just to show you guys what that is. It is this right here. The $100. You see how 50 is crossed out? He's adding the 50 to this 100. And if you want to be or if you want a chance to win $100, you got to be subscribed to the channel. Comment here. I will be doing a roll call here after this segment, and that's how you can get one entry. You can get another entry by watching this on replay and providing a comment that way. All right, I'm gonna actually go back. It's gonna do the whole transition again, so bear with me. But yeah, that's how you can do it. Okay. So we're going to start here in 2017. If I said 2019, I meant 2017. Your optimal lineup left $200 on the table. Started with a $7,700 golfer, a 10-7, an 85, an 82, 78, 69. And a different way to say this is it'd be one 10K golfer, 2 8s, 2 7s, and a 6. Now, if you follow this channel long enough, you know I always talk about the 10-9-8, 7-7-6 approach of building lineups. It's worth noting that when this tournament was played, there were 70 golfers in the field. So in 2017, there were 70 golfers. We have 50 this week. So be cognizant of that. We're going to have less 7K golfers. We're going to have less 6K golfers. It's just going to be less than this year. But this year was a 10-8-8-7-7-6. And it's always a good way to start out your lineups is kind of just creating a base 10-9-8-7-7-6 structure and then making a couple substitutions. I say you can make up to 2. I think that's the best way to go about it, but hey, the world's your oyster. You can do whatever you want. And what I mean by 2 substitutions is if you go 10-9-8-7-7-6, you can sub 110 down to a 9, and you could sub 1-6 up to a 7. That counts as 2 substitutions. If you were to sub a 10 down to a 9, and then a 9 down to an 8, which is just really going to look like 1 9 and 2 8s. You could certainly do it that way. So it'd be like a 9, 2 8s, 2 7s, and a 6. That would technically really just be, I mean, that would be 2 substitutions if you think about it, because you don't have a 10K golfer and you only have 1 9K, so you obviously got to make 2 substitutions to get to 2 8K golfers. That's what I mean by these substitutions. You don't want to make more than 2 because it's very infrequent that your optimal lineup or your GPP winning lineup is going to look anything or if you make 3 substitutions, which really would be like having only 1 7K golfer and all 8K golfers. Like you would obviously have to make several substitutions to get there. That I would never advise that ever. You'll never win you'll never hit an optimal lineup that way. So that was your optimal in 2017. And then one other thing to note, as I go through this, just pay attention to how many 10K golfers start out the lineups, how many 9Ks or 8K golfers are in them. Last week we saw the St. Jude Championship was one of those tournaments where 9Ks kind of reigned supreme. And if it wasn't for, Xander having a really good finish Sunday, we were about to see 2 9K golfers. And quite frankly, if Hovland would have been able to apply a little pressure, you would have had both Hideki and Hovland at the top, and they were both 9K golfers. You probably would have skipped the 10K golfers and probably put in 2 8s or maybe even a third 9. Like that would have been possible. So pay attention to that as we go through. So this is 2017. 2018, your optimal lineup left $800 on the table. It starts with another 10K golfer. We got an 8, 7, 7, 8, 6. So that's 2 years in a row where it's been a 10, 2 8s, 2 7s, and a 6. If we go to 2019, your optimal lineup left $200 on the table. Your GPP winning lineup also left $200 on the table, but they're different lineups. This lineup goes 10, 9, 8, 8. So currently we're just seeing a ton of lineups of 2 8K golfers. 1, 7, and a 6 for your optimal lineup. For your GPP winning lineup, you just get rid of that 7 and a 6. We do add a different 6. And we scroll down to another 6. So that's a 10, 9, 8, 8, 6, 6. So that's super, super interesting lineup builds right there. In 2020, your optimal lineup left $600 on the table. It starts with the 10K golfer once again, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7. So a 10K golfer, an 8K golfer, and 4 7K golfers. Your GPP winning lineup left $0 on the table. Start with the 10K golfer, 8, 8. So there we go. 7, 7, 6. So now that's 3 out of the last 4 years that we've either seen an optimal lineup or a GPP winning lineup go 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6. And all of them start with a 10K golfer, by the way. Optimal lineup in 2021. We don't actually have a 10K golfer in the optimal here. We've got a 9, 9, 8, 9, 7, 6. That's... We rarely see that, but it does happen from time to time. Your GPP winning lineup was a 9, 9, 8, 7, 8, 6. So 2 8s, 2 9s, a 7, and a 6. That was your optimal lineup, or that was your GPP winning lineup, and it left $1,200 on the table. Isn't that crazy? Someone won the $5 drive the green, leaving $1,200 on the table. That rarely happens also. 2022, your optimal lineup left $300 on the table. And this also doesn't start with a 10K golfer. We have a 9, 6, 9, 9. So 3 9s, 2 6s, and 1 7. Okay, that's twice now during this tournament where we've seen 3 9K golfers in the optimal lineup. Your GPP winning lineup had the 3 9s and a 6. Add a second 6, and then add a 7. So again, 3 9s, a 7, and 2 6K golfers for your optimal in 2022. 2023. I've got an optimal, a GPP winning lineup, and a sweet spot optimal. Your optimal left $100 on the table, and it starts with 2 10K golfers, 1 8, make that 2 8s, a 6, and a 5K golfer. It's worth noting we do not have 5K golfers this week. It starts at 6K flat and goes up. So we do not have 5K golfers to allow for 2 10K golfers, but just make a note of that. It's a $10,300 Victor Hovland, an $11,600 or $11,600 Scottie Scheffler, which is very similar to what we've got this year. Your GPP winning lineup also starts with those 3 guys at the top, but then it has Russell Henley as another 8K golfer. So we're just switching 8K golfers. Same $5,700 golfer and then a 6K golfer. That was your GPP winning lineup. The Sweet Spot Optimal also had those 2 10K golfers with an 8K. And then we had 2 6s and a 7. So, dude, crazy talk. That is nuts. And if you're like, well, how is that possible with the 2 substitutions? We have 2 10K golfers, right? We have 0 9s. So we can say that the 9K golfer that should have been in our placeholder, we sub that up to another 10. So that gives us 2 10s and then an 8. And if we look at the bottom half, we've got 2 6s and a 7. Normally, we're supposed to have 2 7s and a 6. You make that second substitution, dropping a 7 down to a 6, and that's how you get. That's how you start with a 10 9 8 7 7 6, and then you make 2 substitutions to get to a 10 10 8 7 6 6. So that's pretty interesting. If we were to look at this week's tournament, so I've got the golfers here by salary. You have 7 10K golfers, which is nuts. We have 8 9K golfers, 10 8K golfers, and I believe we have also 10 7K golfers, and then 15 6K golfers. So if we compare years like we've done in the past, here are the salary totals. You see how they're pretty similar every single year. The last 2 years we've had 50. In 2022 we had 68 golfers. In 2021 we had 69 golfers. In 2020 you also had 69. In 2019 69. So you're supposed to have 70, but I think some of the golfers just withdraw. I would imagine, maybe not. So yeah, 70 golfers in 2017. So basically all the way up until 2022, 2023. Last year was the first year it went to 50. Otherwise, it's been 70 or less. And if we look at the top 10 salaries, so these are golfers that finish inside the top 10, or I should say the prices or the price tags for golfers inside the top 10 can be found here. So in 2023, you had 4 10K golfers inside the top 10, 2 9K golfers inside the top 10, 5 8K golfers, 0 7K golfers, and then basically 3 6K golfers. Now, when you look across the board or across the way, of all years played, you have at least 2 golfers from the 10K range inside the top 10 of this event. When we look at 9K golfers, outside of 2 years where we had 1 0 and 1 1, we've had at least 2 9K golfers inside the top 10. If you look at 8K golfers, we've had at least 2 8K golfers every single year. If you take that year out, it's been nothing but 3 8K golfers or above, with last year having 5. 7K golfers, we had 0 last year. And if you take that 0 and that 1 away from 2022, you have at least 2. Now, again, this is worth noting. These years here had 70 plus golfers in the field, or not 70 plus. You had around 69, 68 plus golfers in the field. Whereas these 2 years, we've only seen we only had 50 golfers in the field. So in the 7K range, you see the numbers drop off fast. 0 and a 1, whereas we've seen at least 2 or more the previous years. So when there's more golfers in that bucket, we can anticipate there'll be more inside the top 10, but that's just not true with 7K golfers, which is interesting because I think Matt Fitzpatrick is in that 7K bucket, which we still need to use our eyeballs to see which golfers are good before we really make a decision like, you know, which golfers should we actually play. But for the 10, the 9, and the 8, the cream rises to the top for this tournament. Now, that's also another thing worth noting. This tournament is different because it has different golf courses that it plays at. So if we just look at kind of the results, we had Olympia Fields in 2023. So obviously that was last year. We had 50 golfers there. You had Wilmington Country Club in 2022, Caves Valley Club in 2021, Olympia again in 2020, then Medina, Aronimink, Conway Farms in 2017. This is where I have salaries from 2017 and on. So we're not playing the same golf course. We did in 2020 and 2023, but in 2023 we had 50 golfers, 2020 we had 70 golfers. So I guess looking back at that again, so 2023 was Olympia, and so too was 2020. Yeah, even then it's different results. So I still have faith that all of the buckets, because it's a tournament based and it's a playoff event, you're still going to find a lot of the same results. So yeah, golf course, it matters. Course fit matters. However, I think because of the type of field we have, we're going to see a lot of the same types of results. So I think we're probably going to see at least, you know, 2 6K golfers inside the top 10. We're probably only going to see a max of 2 7K golfers inside the top 10, maybe 1. So when it comes to building lineups this week, if you wanted to do the 10-8-8 or maybe 10-9-8, I would probably implore you to go 1 7K golfer, maybe 2. And if I was to put a percentage on this, I'd say do 90% of your lineups with 1 7K golfer and 2 6K golfers. 10% of your lineups, do 2 7K golfers and 1 6K golfer. But start with 3 golfers, at least 3, 8K and above. Because it's just been proven to finish inside the top 10 more often than not. And why not just give yourself an advantage when building lineups, just to begin with? So that's all that I have for the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. Let's do a roll call. Just put in optimal lineup. You can use the emoji. You can type it out. I don't care what it is, but that's what we're going to do for our first roll call. So you're going to get credit. You're going to get an entry into next week's giveaway by typing that into the chat. So optimal lineup, use the emoji, type it in, whatever. That's how we're going to do the first roll call. If you're wondering how do you get the emoji, you have to be a member on YouTube in order to get it. So all these fine people in chat. You know what? I'll also say if we get to 25 likes on the video, I will give away 5 white tier memberships, which will allow you to watch tomorrow night's stream. So if you haven't hit that like button, go and do so right now. Good night. Nice seeing you in here as well. Optimus Prime. Sure. Joshua Maz. Ryan Henson. Nice to see you, sir. Bumblebee Tuna. All right. Anyone else that comes in the chat, I'll just add it. We can move on to the next segment, which is just going to be a review of the I got to put it up. The FedEx St. Jude Championship. Now, I kind of covered the combo buckets earlier on in the stream, and that was just more or less to market the website. So that was you could check that out there. But here I'm just going to start with the bucket system, just the summary. So what I do every single week is I review how well the SweetSpot process did the week before. So this, obviously, I'm looking at the FedEx St. Jude, and I like to go over this with you guys to give you confidence in the bucket system this week. So the column that you see here that says success, this is looking at this year's totals and determining how many golfers finished inside the top 10 and how many finished inside the optimal lineup. So when it comes to the top 10, I compare this number to what I had projected earlier on in the week. So basically, coming up soon, I'm going to go over the bucket system for the BMW Championship, and I'm going to give you projections of what I think or how I think this bucket's going to perform. Each of these buckets. There are 6 stat categories with 6 buckets in them. That means there's a total of 36 total buckets. And so this projection here for last year 1 says 2.20 for the min projection, 3.66 for the max. We round down with the min, so 2.2 becomes 0. We round up with the max, that becomes 4. So then I look in here and I see, okay, were there at least 2 golfers inside the top 10? Yes, there were. Does this number fall inside the projection? And it does. 2 is our minimum. So that automatically makes that bucket a success. Now, the optimal lineup shows only 1 golfer, and the SweetSpot optimal also only shows 1. And the reason that it only shows 1 is I used kind of this number over here, this max projection. I call it more of like a conservative maximum or a conservative max projection. 3.12 is really close to being under 3. And because it's close to being under 3, it gives me kind of a pause as to, should this number actually be 2 for a minimum? And if this number is close enough to being under 3, I'll probably just automatically drop the minimum down to a 1. Because if this was, say, 2.99, and I'm looking at this column right here, this value right here. If this was 2.99, that automatically means the roundup goes to 3. And I want a 2-point buffer between the max and the min. Now, this maximum over here is always going to be 3.66. We round up to 4. But if the conservative projection isn't greater than 3, where it would round up to 4 and only round up to 3, that means I would drop the minimum down to a 1. So there was enough cause for concern for me to drop this to a 1. And if you watched the video last week, whether it was the members only video Wednesday night or if the Tuesday live stream, I gave you that reason. We went over the golfers in this bucket, and I didn't see enough good golfers to warrant at least 2 to put in our lineup. So I dropped it down to 1. That's why the Sweet Spot Optimal shows 1. But either way, there were 2 inside the top 10 that automatically makes this bucket a success. So if these numbers here don't fall in line with the projections I provided, then I'll look at the optimal lineup. And if that number does, I will make this bucket a success. If neither of those numbers do, then it's a failure and it'll say no. But guess what? There were 36 Ys, meaning all the buckets were completely successful last week. And I was paying attention. I was following along. I knew because I followed the bucket system. I built some really good lineups last week that got me some decent money. So then the next piece to that is kind of reviewing the optimal lineup versus the GPP winning lineup and the Sweet Spot Optimal. If the Sweet Spot Optimal beats the GPP winning lineup, I just say that the Sweet Spot process altogether was successful. And I mean, just to go over the optimal lineup, it scored 639.5, left $700 on the table. It started with Matsuyama and Xander. And then Sam Burns, like we've talked about, Nick Dunlap, Denny McCarthy, and then Robert McIntyre, of all people. I didn't even see that one coming. That was impressive, in my opinion. Very impressive. So those were your 6 optimal lineup golfers. Your GPP winning lineup was both Xander and Matsuyama, Burns, Wyndham Clark, Eric Cole, and Brendan Todd. That scored 612.5. So as long as the Sweet Spot Optimal scores more than 612.5, it's a success. And it scored 622.5, 10 points better. And I actually built a lineup that if I were to drop the strokes gain 1 bucket from 2 as the minimum down to 1, I believe it was that, or it was course history 2, something like that. I can't remember what it was. It would have scored 639, and it would have been 0.5 points behind the optimal lineup. And when I reviewed it, I was like, yeah, I probably should have dropped down to 1 because the bucket didn't have super good golfers in it. I think it might have been course history 2s, now that I come to think about it. Either way, their Sweet Spot Optimal was both Xander and Hideki, then Sam Burns, Nick Dunlap, Robert McIntyre, and then this guy down here at $7,200 that finished 30th place. That was Alex Noren. And that was good enough to take down a GPP. Now, just to go a little bit further into this, I want to talk about the Marquee Tee Times for the FedEx St. Jude. And when we do this, we're looking at the top 9 groups. Let me just zoom in big time. And I'm going to hide this because we don't need to look at that. So basically, these are your top groups. Sky Scheffler and Xander played together. Rory and Morikawa, Fleetwood, Cam Young, Cantlay and Benny Ann, Henley and Finau, Matsuyama, Theegala, Oberg, Clark, Connors, Burns, Sungjae, Shane Lowry. Now, the rule here is you don't want to select a golfer from the same group. You also only want to select 2 to 4 golfers to put into your lineups. So let's just review this real quick. Scottie finished 4th. Xander finished 2nd. You could have played them together, but guess what? Scottie was not in the optimal lineup, and he was not in the GPP winning lineup. In fact, I don't think you could have put those 2 guys together to take down a GPP. I didn't put together the entire, I didn't try to build lineups that way to see if you could score more than 612.5, but guess what? They just weren't. So you had to select one of them. And this is what's really good about the Marquee Tee Times. It's making you choose between a select amount of golfers. Normally we have 3 golfers to select from each group. In the FedEx St. Jude, as well as the BMW Championship, they're in pairings of 2. So it makes you pick, at least you can only pick one. And this whole tournament, you just look at it. It was Xander out of the group of him and Scottie. It was Matsuyama out of the group with him and Theegala. Wyndham Clark was in the GPP winning lineup. It was between him and Oberg. And then it was between Connors and Burns. So Burns was in the optimal lineup. Matsuyama was in the optimal lineup. Xander was in the optimal lineup. Nobody else in the optimal lineup were paired together with those 3 golfers. And then the only other difference is the GPP winning lineup had Wyndham Clark. So that's 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times that were in the GPP winning lineup. Only 3 optimal lineup golfers, only 3 SweetSpot optimal lineup golfers. That's it. And they weren't playing together. So that's all I like. We see this every single week. I constantly harp on these Marquee Tee Times. They're so much fun to have come across and to figure out. It's like a 90% hit rate. You do with that as you will. Denny McCarthy's down here. He was in the lineup with Adam Scott. So if you were like, I'm gonna do the tee time thing all the way through, Scott and McCarthy were in a group together. Now, if you were like, well, I can't play Scott because I want to play Denny McCarthy, there you go. You pivot away from Adam Scott. If we scroll down here, McIntyre was in a group with Sepp Straka. What a great way to pivot off of Sepp Straka. Like if you're kind of like, I don't know, should I play Sepp Straka? Well, he finished second here the week or the year before. I thought, that'd be a good, or 2 years before, something like that. I thought he'd be a good play. But if you liked Robert McIntyre, or if you wanted to pivot from like a chalkier Straka, he wasn't that chalky, 9%. That's how you could have done it. And then if I scroll down here, Nick Dunlap, he played with who? Johnny Vegas. And then so on and so forth. So no one was paired up together that were in winning lineups or optimal lineups. So take that for what it's worth. And I think that's a great segue that we can get into the bucket system for the BMW Championship. All right. Let me check with chat. I saw some things coming here. Good Night says, Shalik Harden, I watched stream late and used your Burnsy Scottie lineup, but removed Hideki. Still cash. There you go. Yeah, I think I had 10 lineups with Hideki, Scottie, Burnsy. I was floating around 20th in all of them, mostly different contests until Sunday. Xander going nuclear hurting and not having Dunlap. Yeah. Shalik goes, Eric called Fitzy sneaky and now I'll overdose on him just because he used the word sneaky. Denny playing through a torn hip labrum is impressive. Ugh, yeah, that will get me off of playing him this week. No, thank you. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with another segue, another transition. We're getting into the bucket system for the BMW Championship. In the interest of time, actually, you know what? I kind of want to go through. I was just gonna say I'm gonna cruise through this, but I think I want to spend an ample amount of time when it comes to the bucket system. And the reason being is last week I did this, and I want to say it was during the Tuesday live stream, and it got me the correct projections as to how many we should actually choose from certain buckets. Now, we don't have a lot of buckets to select from, to be quite honest with you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear out all the zeros because we don't need any of that. Like, there's some of these buckets where there are 0 golfers in them. So we'll take out 0. I almost want to take out 1s and 2s and stuff like that, but I think I'll probably just keep it as is. So one bucket I definitely want to look at because it was in my mind. Stroke gain 1 is usually a bucket where we have the most expensive golfers. And in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go filter by condition for salaries, average salaries greater than or equal to 8,300. 83.33, that is your average price tag on DraftKings. So that means we have all of these in red. I want to go through every single one of them and see if the projection is absolutely right. And if it isn't, then I'm going to change it. And this is where I learned last week. This is how I got better results, is eyeballing the projections. The projections just go by numbers. But we got to use our eyeballs in order to really figure out, should we actually play these projections? So actually, let's start here with last year ones. So I have 3.01 to 5.02. This means 3 to 6. We round down here in the minimum and we round up here in the maximum. But I want to see if this is really a 2 to 6. So if we look at last year ones, and you can follow along with me on the cheat sheet. Basically, you just go right into the last year column, put that filter on there, clear everything out, and just select one. So we have these golfers right here. There are 16 of them. They all finished inside the top 20 of the BMW Championship last year. So the projection is 3 to 6. Do we think 3 to 6 are going to finish inside the top 10? Scheffler and Xander, to me, are a lock to finish inside the top 10. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. So I think Scottie and Xander, definitely. I'm feeling Victor. I'm feeling Cantlay. I'm feeling Wyndham Clark, as everyone else is. There was something I dropped earlier that kind of references Wyndham Clark. You're gonna have to come to the video tomorrow night to see what that is. I'm gonna save it for the members. Hey, guess what? Our boy Matt Fitzpatrick is in this bucket. I just saw it. Like the sneaky thought that everyone's kind of like posting in chat. This is before even seeing this. So it makes me like this a little bit more. So currently I have highlighted 6 golfers that I could see finish inside the top 10. Theegala, I don't mind. Corey Connors, I don't mind. Okay, so like Rory, Burns, Henley, and Sungjae could all have, I mean, Burns played well last week. Henley, Sungjae kind of, they're okay, but they didn't finish as well as we would have hoped they would have. And then Rory just was absolute garbage. There is a good likelihood they could finish inside the top 10 as well. I just don't have that much confidence in it. So the golfers that I had just highlighted prior to, I mean, Matt Fitzpatrick's in that. It almost makes me just like, I got to play Matt Fitzpatrick now. I kind of just like it. I don't think his game is anywhere close to being as good as it once was. He did finish 18th last week. That's kind of a sneaky finish. Okay. I guess I'm just sold. It's like Matt Fitzpatrick this week is very similar to what Sam Burns was to me last week. There's no real reason to, I mean, I guess Sam Burns, I felt like, was playing better golf. You know, he had the kid, and then or his wife had the kid, and he had a couple good performances, right? I think he had one at the British Open, and then let's take a look. Burns. Yeah, the Open was 31st, and then 12th place finish at 3M. That was what was more impressive to me, because this is not a surface that he does typically well at. So I'm probably fading him this week, to be quite honest with you. Like, if you look at his stats from last week, it's all putting. Most of it was just putting. Did hit his irons okay, but he was like +9 strokes putting. +7 strokes putting. So I have it right here. 7.14. It was 2.13 on approach, -1 off the tee, but that's also because he broke his driver in the middle of the round of round 3. And he just, distance plays a huge factor in gaining strokes off the tee. So, I don't know. He's a good putter, don't get me wrong, but I think that just keeps me away from Burns this week. But anyways, going back to the projection. 3 to 6. I actually do like 3 to 6. I'm going to make it 2 to 6. And I did that on the optimizer. So I have it at 2 to 6, just so you guys know. And I'm okay keeping it at 2 to 6. Sometimes when you make the optimizer select at least 3, it prioritizes it too much where it selects bad golfers or golfers that just don't make sense. Last year fives, I do not have to look at that bucket. 0 to 1, that's fine. Last week ones, golfers who finished top 20 last week, 2 to 5 is the projection, and it's pretty spendy. Can we see 2 to 5 golfers in the last week one bucket finishing inside the top 10, and can we play enough of them together in a lineup? So Scottie and Xander, which 1-2 in the model, 1-2 in everything, by the way. So yeah, both of those guys I could see finishing inside the top 10 pretty darn easy. But then, you know, I don't sleep on Matsuyama. He's going to be a good golfer. He looks back in form. Hovland, Cantlay, all great plays in my opinion. We get Tony Finau. Do we get? Oh man, we do get Matt Fitzpatrick again. Dude, everything is just shaking out. Good night. Welcome to the white tier, sir. Thank you for becoming a member. Love that. And I appreciate it big time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's hit them with those. Let's spam them with those emojis. Members of the Sweet Spot Society. Let's see all the crosshairs and the buckets. By the way, I have room for one more emoji, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to include, what I want to add. I was thinking like something for whenever we win, you know, like win money or anything like that. We could throw like winner chicken dinner or something like that. I don't know. You guys let me know. I know I brought it up. Someone said Hawk Tua, but we ain't doing Hawk Tua. I'm not putting a Hawk Tua on there. That's a fad that will go away in time. I like something to keep it, you know, whatever. I don't know how you got canceled. You know what? Good night. I think you were gifted a membership, and it's only good for one. Oh my God, I could do faces of golfers. Honestly, I think I got to do the tiger face, the drunk tiger face. I got to add that, don't I? I have to do that. Like the one, his mugshot. I got to put that there. I got to add that to the mix. Or I can make like, you know how Waggle has the goat that's dressed in tiger stripes? I could do that too. Should I do something like that instead? Because that's a good idea also. All right. So I can see the projection for this being I'm all in on Matt Fitzpatrick this week and Wyndham Clark. He's going to be owned so much. Wyndham Clark is going to be like 20+%, and I'm here for it because Matt Fitzpatrick is going to be like 6%, and that's just it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I could literally see a Scottie, Cantlay, Clark, Fitzpatrick lineup hitting the nuts this week. Or even Tony Finau. Maybe we could take out Cantlay and put in Finau. I think it's an either or. So what is this projection? 2 to 5? Yeah, we're keeping 2 to 5. And I do have that. Okay, cool. That makes sense. 2 to 4 for course history ones. Let me guess. Matt Fitzpatrick's going to be here also. Course history ones. Matt Fitzpatrick. And Denny McCarthy's been showing up in all of these buckets too, by the way. Anybody that has a 1-1 and a 1 there have all shown up. Burnsy, by the way, has shown up in all of them. Cantlay has. Schauffele and Scheffler. Oh my God. If we just knew every single week when buckets line up like this that we just know that's who we're anchoring our players around, we'd be so rich beyond belief. Obviously, this is golf. It doesn't work that way. But I have a pretty good feeling about some of these lineups. If I'm putting into rules, and I know you guys use websites outside of mine and whatever, if you're putting in rules, I want you to make a rule where it's Scottie, Xander, Cantlay, add Finau to the mix, by the way. So those 4, Scottie, Xander, Cantlay, Finau. Add in Fitzpatrick. If you're brave, go ahead and put in McCarthy, but he kind of is a little bit hurt, so maybe don't. Who else was in my mix? It was from the previous bucket. Anyways, put, I guess, those 5 golfers, you know, obviously Tony Finau is in the mix there. So put those 5 golfers in and have your optimizer select at least 3 of them. So Matt Fitzpatrick, who else did we say like in the 7K range? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Even Corey Connors, by the way, showed up a few times. I think that's good too. So yeah, this projection is solid. So 2 to 4. If that's a 1 to 4, I'm probably changing it to 2 to 4. I did change it 1 to 4, so we're gonna change it back to 2 to 4. I like it. Course history 2s, by the way. Let's check that one out. I don't know how I feel about course history 2s. Let me double check that one. This one was 2 to 4. Yeah, Rory's pretty good. Hovland, we got our boy Finau there. Okay, so Finau can come from this bucket. And we want at least 2. Boy, if I like Scottie or Xander in the previous bucket, how can I put 2 golfers together in this one that makes lineups? Oh, Alex Noren, yeah. Finau and Noren. Okay. I need to type this down. So I want Finau and Noren. Right there. And I also want Scottie or Xander, Cantlay, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Where are you at? $7,800. Matt Fitzpatrick. So it's going to be a mix of these guys. I suppose Rory's in this mix too. So I got to put Rory. Who else was it? Rory, Matsuyama, Hovland. Do I add Morikawa? I do kind of like Morikawa, but I'm not going to add him. We'll add this up here. So it's like I need to find 2 golfers out of here to go along with 2 golfers from here. And I suppose maybe I should look at some of these other guys. Like, I don't mind Fleetwood. Did I add Cantlay to this mix? I did. Probably not. Like, I do like Adam Scott, but I'm probably staying away from Adam Scott. I'm probably staying away from Cam Young. I do like Sahith Theegala. It's expensive, though. And Corey Connors. Those guys I do like. I mean, like, okay, so, okay. We got to be kind of objective about this. 2 to 4 golfers from here. So realistically, we kind of want to either go Scottie or Xander, but we also got to remember from the bucket before, we got Rory and 2 other 10K golfers to select from as well. So this could be a week where there are 2 10K golfers. It certainly could be. Or maybe there isn't. Maybe we go 10-9-8. Or we can go 10-8-8. So I guess if that was the case, I wouldn't mind like a Corey Connors or Theegala to go with, say, Matt Fitzpatrick. So now I got my 2 guys here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can do a 10K golfer if I go to this bucket. If I need 2 to 5 golfers from here, I really don't like, I mean, I guess Noren would be one. Did I add him to my mix? Did. Noren would be one 7K golfer I like. I do like Wyndham Clark this week. Surprise, surprise. Did I add him? I didn't even add Wyndham Clark to that mix. Okay, so that's going to be super interesting. I'm going to do this. Put that there. Move it down. Okay, so I've got a group of 6 golfers there and a group of 6 golfers there. I would make your optimizer select 2 out of here and 2 out of here and just see if you can build lineups that way. I'm going to be really curious. I kind of want to try this out probably tomorrow night to see if I can build lineups with at least 2 guys from here and 2 guys from here. So that's 4 golfers that I'm going to be putting in a lineup from a group of 12, essentially. And then that kind of cuts it down, and you can only build so many lineups from there with the rest of the field. So yeah, interesting stuff. I do like Noren. I mean, it's just We just saw that 7K golfers don't do super well at this event. Like, since it moved to 50 golfers, we haven't seen more than one from the 7K range inside the top 10. Now, obviously, we could get 2, we could get even more, but it's probably unlikely. So maybe it's an Alex Noren or Matt Fitzpatrick rule that you'd want to put in there. And that's how you get your 7K golfer. And then just try to mix in 6Ks. And I guess that's fine. It's Alex Noren or it's Matt Fitzpatrick. I kind of like that. But that would mean that this can't be a 2 out of 4. I don't think it can be, because like you'd have to put Wyndham Clark. There's no one in the AK range that I want to play. Like, I wouldn't want JT or Lowry. Don't trust those guys at all. And there's like the collection of these guys here, like the collective of these guys, I don't trust at all either. I don't want at least one of these dudes. I don't even want to play any of these dudes. Don't trust Chris Kirk. Don't trust JT Poston. Don't trust Cam Davis. Don't trust Adam Hadwin. Eric Cole's interesting, but I don't trust him. I certainly don't trust Siwoo. I don't trust Bradley. I don't trust Straka, and I don't trust Harmon. Like, yeah, I do like Noren. Don't care for Ann. Don't trust Lowry. Don't trust Thomas. I do like Clark. Don't trust Horschel. I do like Finau. So maybe it's, man, a Finau Clark. Like, if we don't go Noren, would it be Finau Clark and then Matt Fitzpatrick and a 10K golfer? You know what? I'm kind of breaking the mold as to how I'm doing this. I kind of want to just see what that looks like. Just right away. So I want to put in Clark and Finau. Can I play one guy from either Xander or Scheffler to go along with Matt Fitzpatrick? And that way I would get my 2 and 2. Let's see. Do I break it? Do I break the optimizer? I do. Okay. Which is sad. Let me see if I move this to 0. Can I build a lineup still? No, I cannot. 2 9s and 1 7. So it's yeah. I'm trying to make it choose a 10K because, like, I think there's going to be a 10K in the. Yeah, you know what? I don't know the equation. I can't figure it out as to, you know, let's say we had 4 10K golfers finish inside the top 10. Is there a position that the best 10K golfer, like the worst position inside the top 10, the best 10K golfer can finish that you would still want to play 10? Because, like, here's my thought process. You've got 10 golfers that finish inside the top 10 normally, right? Sometimes you got more, but you obviously never have less. If you had 4 10K golfers finish inside the top 10 and they finished 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th place, obviously the tail end of the 10K range or the top 10, would that golfer who finished 7th, let's say it's Scottie Scheffler just to make it absolutely crazy, could he still be in a lineup that would win a GPP if he finished 7th and the rest of the 10K golfers are behind him? Probably not, to be quite honest. Probably not. Unless, you know, the top of the 10K or the top of the Jesus Christ, the top of the tournament had, you know, 6K golfers and 7K golfers inside the top 5. Then yeah, then you could. But if not, and say it's 9K golfers, like 2 guys in the 9K range and 2 guys in the 8K range that finished inside the top 5, then you can't play a 10K golfer. And if that's the case, I'm going to move this to a 0 out of 3. If I go back to the bucket system and you look at the salary right here, 10K range, it says 1 to 4. 1 to 4 and 2.72 is your conservative max projection, which makes that a 1 to 3 bucket. But yeah, it'd still be 1 to 4 because the max would be, you know, 4. I don't. I mean, the frequency rate of being inside or being in the optimal lineup is pretty high. 71% is pretty high. 8K range, by the way, has a higher frequency of being in the optimal lineup. Okay, I think we do it. We keep it 0 to 3. I think I have to penalize that range because it's so expensive. I have to. Scottie might boat race. I know, and that's the thing. Is like I think it's Scottie or bust. But then when it comes to the other projections of these buckets, I can't do 2 course history 1s and 2 course history 2s. I could do 2 of like course history 1, but I can't do 2 of course history 2. I have to do 1. So I would have to do something like this: 1 course history 1 and 2 course history 2s. But I don't see 2 course history 2s being inside the top 10, or not so much inside the top 10, but in the optimal lineup. I just don't know. This is why I'm going over this, because this is what I found out last week. This actually had a lot of utility going through each of the ranges to try to figure out which golfers are in here and whether or not we should temper our expectations of a bucket. Like, to what we said in chat before, Rory, I don't trust at all. I'm not even sure. Like, I do believe he's going to be a lower ownership. But yeah, I don't trust him. He's not in a good last week bucket. This last week bucket's terrible. But it could be just fine. And like I'm not gonna get off of like someone like Hideki Matsuyama. I think he can play well here. I feel like Hovland could play well here. So this bucket was originally 2 out of 5 as the projection. Course history 1 was a 1 out of 4. And I wanted to make it a 2 out of 4, and there were golfers in this bucket. Like I liked Fitzpatrick. I still like Fitzpatrick. I obviously like Scottie. I like Xander. I like Cantlay. Maybe those are the only 4 I truly like. The other guys I'm probably trying to reach on. Like I'm trying to reach on Connors and Theegala. And I'm probably reaching on Fitzpatrick, to be quite honest. But I do feel good about Fitzpatrick this week. Yeah, I suppose I just keep this. Nah. See, to me, this is just like Scottie and then someone else. And maybe it's just Scottie. I mean, even if Xander finishes inside the top 10, doesn't mean I have to play him. Same goes with Cantlay. Is there just enough from course history 2 to keep this at a 2? I don't think anyone up here. See, like I like Finau and I like Clark. And I don't mind the rest of the guys down. And Noren. These 3 golfers, to me, are decent glue pieces. But you can't put them in a lineup together. You can't put Finau, Clark, and Noren. Or maybe you can do like Finau or Clark. Maybe that's the choice. Maybe it's Finau, Clark, or Cantlay. But putting Finau and Clark together with Matt Fitzpatrick. I mean, why can't I do something like this? Like, I like Jaeger this week, by the way. Let's do something like this. 2 min 6Ks. I just want to see what salary this spits out. 51,000. That's why I can do it. Scottie Scheffler. Okay. And even if it wasn't Scottie Scheffler, I could play Xander. So I could do Xander with these 2 low 6K golfers. Xander, Finau, Clark, Fitzpatrick, Jaeger, and Pavon. So that's why we can't build these lineups. And what would I be missing? So I want at least 2 last year ones. I've got 3. That's fine. 1 here. That doesn't go over. And 2 here. That's fine. 4 last week ones. We want at least 1 last week 2. So we got that. So these buckets right here all pass. I got 2 and 2, which is perfect. And then I got 2 here as a max. That's perfect. And I have 1, 2, and 3 right here, which you want 1 of each. That's perfect. Strokes gain 1. This is where I don't have it. And this is It's kind of where I don't really care. Strokes gained, the strokes gained buckets. If this is the only bucket that gets in my way, I think that's fine. Here, let's do this. I'm going to rerun this. And I'm not going to choose these two guys down at the bottom. I want to see if it still breaks. It could. It does. What for? What other bucket could I possibly be breaking? Oh, it's the lower 6K buckets. That's why. I have this as a max of 1. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a smart idea to go about this anyway, to go about it this way, but we'll see. Let me check out with chat. I know you guys are talking. I've been seeing it. The emoji should just be Burnsy's face. Yes, faces of golfers is fire. Yeah, that would be awesome. Tiger drunk face. I love it. Or the Scottie jail photo. Yeah, I should actually do the Scottie jail photo. That would have way more relevance for us picking golfers in the future versus Tiger. Jody Garrison, what's going on? Nice to see you in here. I noticed you from the Byron back 9 bets, Byron, Maroto Baller participation in chat. Yes, Scottie jail photo. Okay. I think that's going to be it. I'm going to do the Scottie jail photo. Just joining in. Ryan Grazerman has been the guys winning me money last 2 weeks. There you go. Where you got them this week? Not high. I don't mind Rye, to be quite honest with you, but I'm not sure how I feel about Grazerman, though. Watch Rory goes off and wins now. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. I hate it on Hideki, and then he gets robbed, and he plays the best golf ever. Make it make sense. Hey, good night. If you were, well, I guess I didn't really talk much about Hideki. I just knew 9Ks were the choice of bucket to choose from last week. Data golf ownership has to be dog shit that they got Rory with same ownership as Xander. Yeah, it's probably not right. I think Hideki did this a few years ago. He went on a streak to in the FedEx Cup. Cantlay too. Yeah, Cantlay is a good one. Xander, Rye, Clark, McIntyre, Cole, Grazerman. Is that your lineup? I ran the projections and shook the black magic ball. It says good week. That's good. Okay, so yeah, I guess I can build a lineup that has these guys in it. I just have to change the lower 6K, which is fine. I mean, let me take a look at the buckets. If I see more than 2, I think I'm going to be okay with it. So I'm going to go to my bucket engine. I'm going to go down to the... Well, right here is what I want to look at. We've never seen more than 1 inside the top 10, so that kind of just defeats the purpose. We don't want to build lineups like that. And then I didn't really see when we were building lineup, or when we were looking at pass optimal and GPP wing lineups, how many low 6K golfers were either in the optimal. Here's a high 6K, just 1 in the optimal lineup. 2018, just 1 high 6K golfer. I don't see many other 6Ks in there. 2019. You got $6,200 golfer, and that was it, just 1 of them. 2020, we had Sebastian Munoz at 6,300, but he was not in the optimal or the GPP winning lineup. 2021, KH Lee at 6,000, just stone minimum. Okay, just 1 though, just 1 of those guys. 2022, you had Trey Mullinax at 6,200. And that's it, just 1 of those guys as well. And 2023, you had Svensson 6,200, and then Putnam, which was a high 6K golfer. Well, your optimal had Svensson and Hoagie, which would have been, well, I don't know how the price conversion would have worked out, but I imagine those were low 6K golfers. Yeah, you know what? We're playing the percentages. That's what it's all about this week. And maybe I create some of these lineups and save them. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to create some of these and then add them elsewhere. I really don't care for Cam Davis, to be quite honest with you. Hadwin and Jaeger, that's fine. I do like Jaeger. I'm just building these lineups, by the way. I should probably put these at 100% just to make sure that I can build some lineups. I really don't want that much Hadwin. JT Poston. Nope. I'm not going to say one with JT Poston. Okay. I think it's just those three. I think that's it that I can build. So I'm only doing this because I want this lineup. I want to have these golfers, and I'm just going to put them over to the side and clear them out. I just want to have them. I just want them. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Spending more time on the buckets than I typically do, just because last week again kind of showed me that was kind of a good thing to do. So we kind of trimmed down the course history golfers down to one each, and I think that's the proper thing to do. And we're gonna change this low 6K just to be one. I don't want more than one low 6K golfer. And then who else? What else did I need to change? Strokes gain. The strokes gain 1. This was 2 to 5. Do I keep it at 1 to 5? I think that's the only question I have. So I'm going to clear this out, or I'll select all. Yeah, Xander, Rory, Morikawa, Cantlay, and then the rest of them. I mean, there's Alex Noren. So, like, if I anchored around Noren and say Cantlay, boom, I got my 2. And then I would not anchor around Tony Finau, which would be fine, honestly. Like going Cantlay and Noren from this bucket also takes care of some of the other buckets that I was just looking at. And then I can add in Fitzpatrick if I wanted to, and Wyndham Clark to go with. I probably can't do a 10K golfer that way. Yeah, the 2 9Ks, man. Dang it. That's difficult because I'm kind of in the boat of going with Scottie. So I guess that's how I'm going to think about building lineups tomorrow night is, do I build one with Scottie? Do I build one with Xander? Are they too expensive to build lineups around? It probably will be. It probably will be. And we probably can't. Okay. Do I need to spend more time on the bucket system? Is there really like certain buckets I really need to look into, like recent form 1s and recent? Yeah, I probably should. Let's take this seriously and get through the rest. So recent form 1s. Can we see at least 2 golfers from here to be inside the top 10? Well, there's Scottie and Xander, of course. Patrick Cantlay, sure. Yes, but I don't see building, like forcing it to build with 2. So recent form 1s, yeah, I already changed all these to 1s. I didn't keep them at 2s. So let's check out recent form 2 just to do our due diligence. Can we find golfers that we want to build here? Finau, Clark, Noren. So there's 3. So yeah, I mean, I could build 2. I could build a lineup with 2 of these guys for sure. I do like Bobby Mack this week as well. Maybe I keep this at 2. Recent form 2s, I think I keep at 2. Recent form 3s, I think is just going to stay at 3. I mean, stay at 1 to 3. And here I got Matt Fitzpatrick. The rest of them kind of just Steven Yeager, don't mind. Okay, actually these low price guys I'm cool with. That's fine. I do like Steven Yeager this week, by the way. Okay. So I think that's it. I'm not going to talk about the 10s, the 9s, or the 8s. We did strokes gain 1. We did recent form 1s and 2s. We did courses. Yeah, we did them all. All of them except for recent form 5s. Okay. So that's all I'm going to cover with the bucket system. Normally I kind of go more so with like the anchor buckets, but technically like those were the anchor buckets with the salaries being as expensive as they were. So the last thing I really want to talk about before we start building lineups are the Marquee Tee Times. So if you're going to follow along with me on the cheat sheet, which I implore you to do, what you'd want to do is filter by group rank. That's how we're going to find our Marquee Tee Times. So all you got to do is go A to Z, and you're going to see that they're all highlighted over here. And I'm actually going to zoom in for you guys a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. So basically, these are your top groups in the tournament this week, and they're all paired up in twosomes. So the rule is you want to select 2 to 4 golfers from here, and you don't want to pair them up together. And it's primarily because we have seen so many optimal lineups from the past, so many GPP win lineups, so many sweet spot optimals have 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, which again, top 9 groups in the field, and they're not playing together. They rarely play together. So really the choice, how I look at it is, do you like Scottie or Xander? And if you like one of them, or if you like both of them, choose one. Mine would be Scottie. The next group is Rory and Wyndham Clark. So here we go. This is perfect. For those that are in the Wyndham Clark train, this is how you fade Rory McIlroy. For those in the Rory McIlroy train, this is how you fade Wyndham Clark. So this is an either or. You're either playing Rory or you're playing Clark. You're not playing both of them. Going to the next one. Wyndham Clark would be my guy. Matsuyama or Morikawa. Perfect. Now if you're going to pair up 2 10K golfers, it's not going to be Matsuyama with Morikawa. It's going to be one or the other. They literally play the same type of game. Like Matsuyama's short game is better than Morikawa's, but they pretty much play the same iron game. I mean, Matsuyama, if you think about it, the weird thing about this is like Matsuyama has more power. You almost think Matsuyama hits the ball straighter than Morikawa, like weirdly enough. Matsuyama has a better chipping around the green game. Maybe Morikawa just has a little bit better of a putting game, and that's kind of funny because he's not that great at putting. But either way, kind of like it. The next group is Ludwig and Theegala. And I like that too, because if I am going to play Theegala, it's a good reason not to play Oberg. And if I want to play Oberg, it's a good reason not to play Theegala. We have Cantlay and Sungjae. That just makes me like Cantlay more. Burns and Henley. I don't really care for either of them. Like Burns helped me out last week. I just don't think it's going to happen this week. JT and Aaron Rai. That seems like a... Man, I don't even know what to talk... Like... I don't even know how I feel about those two golfers in the same... I don't have any feelings one way or the other to play either of those guys. I don't like them at all. Hovland and Benny-Ann, again, if you're going to play Victor Hovland, probably pass on Benny-Ann. And then Tony Finau and Akshay Bhatia. I was never going to play Bhatia. No, I should say never. I wasn't running to anchor my lineups around Bhatia. So that's good to know. Since there aren't that many other groups, Fitzpatrick and Jaeger together. Okay, so my Marquee Tee Times don't go all the way down to here. My whole process doesn't, at this moment, look at all golfers in a group together. This is good to know, because if I do like Fitzpatrick, I will not be pairing him up with Jaeger, and obviously I just saved some lineups that did that. Eckroat's playing with Zalatoris, that's fine. Bez and Straka, it's fine. Grazerman and Dunlap, it's good to know. Horschel Pavon, it's good to know. We already talked about this. I do not care about Siwoo or Max Homa. Hoagie and Pendrith, that might concern some of you guys, not me. Davis, Bradley, okay. Kirk, Fleetwood, yep, never going to pair those guys together. McIntyre and Lowry, that's funny. To have the two, like, you have an Irishman and a Scotsman playing in the same lineup. That's good. I don't care about Lowry. I don't think I would ever rush to try to play Shane Lowry. But McIntyre, I don't mind. Corey Connors and JT Poston, whatever. Eric Cole and Alex Noren. This is where I'd play Noren over Cole. Got no issue there. The rest of them, though, yeah. Nothing else really suits my fancy. But yeah, that sucks with Fitzpatrick and Jaeger. That just makes me like one of them a little bit more, to be quite frank. But I also like Fitzpatrick. So Wyndham Clark, 9,200. Is there an 8K golfer that I like up here? I mean, I like Scottie Scheffler, by the way. I really don't. Like, I like Scheffler a lot. But then it's Wyndham Clark. I'd want to go to an 8K golfer, but there's no one in the 8K, like in the Marquee Tee Times, in the 8K range that I absolutely feel like I have to play. Maybe Theegala. Maybe I do want to go to like Justin Thomas or Aaron Rai. I don't know how I feel about that. Could this be a 3-9K golfer type of tournament? I guess maybe my 10K lineup would be like Rory, skip Wyndham, bring in Tony Finau. So Rory, Finau, and say someone else that's in the 9K range. Can I do like Patrick Cantlay? Does a lineup like that work? So it's Rory, Cantlay, Finau. It probably doesn't, but maybe. I do like Fitzpatrick, so I want to keep Fitzpatrick in there. So we had Rory, Finau, and Cantlay. They're right next to each other. Probably can't build this one. It probably breaks every rule that I have. It's probably too expensive. Yep, can't do it. Okay. We're kind of pigeonholed when it comes to building lineups when we want to get really greedy. So we have, okay, so we have some decisions to make. It's to Scottie or to Xander. And if you're choosing not to play them because of ownership reasons or because they're too expensive, then my next question would be to Rory or to Wyndham. If you choose Wyndham, I think you get access to other 10K golfers, including like Victor Hovland. You could also just go I think you can play up to 3 9K golfers. I think that's what the optimizer says. Yeah, you can play up to 3 9s, you can play up to 3 8s. So obviously, like I saw you could do something like Cantlay, Finau, and Clark. Maybe I can add then Fitzpatrick in this. And maybe I have an opportunity to build a lineup this way. Probably not. Oh, I can. Including another 7K golfer, which I don't have to do, and Cam Davis. Let's see, what other things can I do here? Adwin works. Okay, so it's trying to keep Pendrith in there, and it's probably trying to keep Pendrith because he's a glue piece. So if I kick out Pendrith, I'm probably going to break everything. So if you're a big Pendrith fan, like this type of lineup would work for you. Oh, you don't have to do Pendrith. There's Brian Harmon. I'm going to do 1.7K. Just give me the 1.7K. I do not want to have more than 1.7K. Get out of here. 49.3. Okay. So I do have the ability to build decent lineups. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do 2 6K golfers, I suppose. I really don't like Harmon either. So I don't want Harmon. I know I don't want Straka. I know I don't want Den. Okay. Give me Alex Noren. There's my core 5. Give me 1 6K golfer that makes sense. Oh, it has to go flat 6K. And because I'm playing Fitzpatrick, I can't do I cannot do Steven Yeager because they're playing together. Dang it. That'd have been sweet. I mean, this does work. Sure. I'm gonna save this one. And I know I'm building lineups without you guys. I'm gonna get to you guys here shortly. And I'm gonna do another roll call here shortly. So do not go anywhere. Okay. Yeah. Lineup building is gonna be really interesting. Okay. Okay. Here's what I want you guys to do. I'm gonna leave this up here. This is gonna be this is perfect. Your roll call is to give me 2 to 4 golfers to build lineups around from the Marquee Tee Times. Select your 2 to 4, post them in the chat right now. This is how you're going to get credit for the subscriber giveaway. And I'm just going to bring this off to a different page. And I'm going to do this over here. Waiting for you guys to post your lineups in here. I'll bring it back. Just wait. Give me 2 seconds. You can also pause the video if you wanted to. I'm going to timestamp that. I am timestamping things. Just so you know. Okay. There you go. Going with the classic Scottie and Burnsy, of course. Xander, Henley, and Thomas. I love it. Hey, let's put some music on too, hey? Hey. Hideki the fraud? Jeez. Philip Paul, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Nathan Johnson. Hideki cost you 5K? That sucks. Was that from a bet? I could say that Cantlay and Denny McCarthy also cost me about the same amount of money. AJ Love wants Clark and Scottie. Xander. Oh, that's not Josh's. Well, yeah, he wants Xander, Henley, and Thomas. That's going to be a fun lineup. I like Hovland, Cantlay. That's a pretty good balanced one. Although it's not really balanced. Starting with a 10 and then a 9. Rory Finau for that contrarian. Ooh, we got Darrel Mooney in the house. What's going on, Darrel? You okay? Good night. You got second place in the DK winner take all. I was winning that for a short time. Well, that sucks, man. If it's not me winning, I'm hoping it's someone from the community that wins. So it sucks that you didn't win. That'd have been sweet to have someone take it down. So it was a great way to end my day after a stressful day. Well, hey, come on in and relax. Nothing feels worse than finish second or third in winner take all. Oh yeah. Yeah. I also I would say this. Nothing feels worse than some bozo getting a birdie on the last hole to get an all rounds under 70 bonus, a birdie plus 3 bonus, plus moving up 1, 2, or even 3 places to get all those bonus points. Like that stuff has happened to me. And you go from like winning a tournament by 8 points to losing it by 15. Just like, where does that come from? Oof, that stuff bothers me. Like, yeah, I mean, okay. One, it's happened to me. I won the Nagels Bagel. I took Nagels Bagels tournament from him. He was winning the AT&T Byron Nelson, and my golfer got, it was KH Lee. He birdies the last hole. Actually, I think it was Jordan Spieth. So I had Jordan Spieth and KH Lee. And Jordo got a birdie on the last hole despite doing what Jordan does best, going all over the place. Gets it up to like 12 feet and buries the putt. And that birdie alone got me to win by half a point. And that half a point won me $450 in a winner take all. And I'll always remember it because, like, that's when Nagels just went like crazy. And I think I had won 2 weeks in a row or something like that. And he just was like, this lucky son of a bitch, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know, when you get Nagels all mad like that, it's hilarious. All right. Did we get everyone? Everyone put in their combos of lineups? I hope so. If not, you guys can come in later. I do have to put Darrel's name here. I'll bring this over here too. Like I said, this was also your way of getting a roll call, an entry into the giveaway, which goes in the weekly giveaway as well as the monthly giveaway. I think I got everyone. It was Philip, and then it was Darrel. How you been? Being on West Coast and Rainmakers being gone, kind of been falling. Yeah, last week was definitely one of the most quiet streams that I've had. I think I ended it before 3 hours. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. It's two weeks in a row I did that. It wasn't as long because there just wasn't a lot of participation. I had to stop playing the high dollar games and just play the 25 cents for 50 bucks now. There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's literally, I've been trying to keep my exposures to those high price games at a minimum because, one, I don't know how a lot of these tournaments are going to play out with the type of fields that there are. So it's like, I'm not too wild about doing a like going all out when it comes to. I actually might enter the $25 because I made 40 bucks last week, so might as well try to turn that into something else, especially if I've got takes like I think Matt Fitzpatrick's going to do well this week, or Alex Noren. Like I think I want to put a lineup together like that way. Rainmakers is done. They're paying people out. Yep, I got my money. I made a profit, so I don't care. That was the whole purpose of me playing. I'm gonna close the FedEx St. Jude. We don't need that. That was my whole purpose of playing Rainmakers this year. I wanted to play it like stock, like the stock market, kind of. I wanted a return on investment, and when they called it quits, I mean, I just needed to make $140 more. The Wyndham Championship, by the way, I would have had a lineup. So I didn't have a lot of elite cards. The elite cards that I did have, though, I had Matt Kuchar, which I think, you know, he finished like 11th or something like that. I had Aaron Rai. It's like, because my top two elite cards were Hideki Matsuyama and Patrick Cantlay, which weren't playing the Wyndham Championship. So I would have definitely put a lineup together with 3 elites and 3 rares. My best elites were Aaron Rai, by far, above and beyond, because the rest of my guys are scrubs. It was, it'd have been Aaron Rai, Matt Kuchar, and probably Alex Smalley, to be quite honest, because I had a mixture of Martin Traynor, Kevin Chappell. Like I had 2 Kevin Chappell elite cards, and I don't think he was playing. Who else did I have elite? Brendan Todd. I had a Brendan Todd one, so maybe I would have put Brendan Todd there if he played the Wyndham. I think he played the Wyndham. I can't remember off the top of my head. I had another cheap old guy that I probably would have put together. Can't think off the top of my head, but I was like, of course, like the next upcoming weeks, I had like the cards. Like I said, I had Cantlay and Decky, so I would have put those guys together last week. So I imagine they got sued for like not being able to return your money on certain things. Like there's probably something to do with how they transferred. Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to, it doesn't matter if I speculate. If someone knows, post in the chat. I'd love it. Or you could just link it if you wanted to link it. Oh, security laws. Okay. All right. I think we've got all of our lineups in. All the people that posted their lineups. Let's get to building some lineups. So I will bring the timer up. I need to bring it to this and then bring this up. Okay. Shot like Harden, you, sir, are the guy we're going to be building lineups for. On your ready, I'm going to timestamp you and I'm going to bring the timer up and we're going to build lineups for you. So you let me know. On your go. Oh, you know what? Actually, just wait. We're going to change the exposures to 100% for everybody. Eric Carnivore coming in. Okay. Shot Harden says ready. All right, here we go. We're time stamping you and then we're going. And I'm gonna link. Pin it up to the top. Going with the old, the tried and the true Burnsy and Scottie. And the timer goes up now. First lineup is Scottie, Burns, Cam Young, Taylor Pendrith, Eric Cole, and Matthew Pavon. I don't have it selecting at least one low 6K. I do not. Okay, cool. That works for me. Again, if you don't like a certain golfer, you say kick whoever it is that if they show up too much. That's how we'll go about it. Scheffler, Burns, Cam Young, Bradley, Cole, Grazerman. If you want me to add someone, let me know also. Scheffler, Burns, Cam Young, Taylor Pendrith, Eric Cole, Steven Yeager. I actually really like that one. I like Yeager this week, just so you guys are all aware. I'm digging the Euro golfers on the PGA Tour who have played in previous events at elevation. We get Alex Noren to go with Shane Lowry, Eric Cole, and Cam Davis. I'm probably going to switch this out and say we kick out Shane Lowry instead of Alex Noren. No Cam Young at all. Kick Cam Young. Do it now. You got it. My bad. We get Scheffler, Burns, Benny Ann, Taylor Pendrith, Cole, and Cam Davis. Scheffler, Burns, Benny Ann, Pendrith, Dietrich, and Eric Cole. Don't mind that one. Kick Lowry. Lowry's been kicked. Yeah, I booted him. You won't be able to walk the course. Round kick Cam Young. Scheffler, Burns, J-Day, Noren, Cole, Kirk. That one's fine. Scheffler, Burns, Davis Thompson. There we go. We got our boy Matt Fitzpatrick, Eric Cole, and JT Poston, which is, yeah, it's all right. It's not sexy. Let's put it that way. Scheffler, Burns, Davis Thompson, Bradley, Cole, Homa. Ugh. I will not be touching Homa with a 10-foot pole. No, thank you. We get Adam Hadwin, Benny Ann with the same 4. Fitzpatrick and Norin to go with Cole and Homa. Come on. I'm bringing back Norin and I'm kicking out Homa. There's just no way Homa can go have fun with himself by himself. Just no. Benny Ann, Pendrith, Siwoo Kim, Eric Cole. A lot of Eric Cole so far, and time is up, and we get the Eckroat to go with the rest of these guys. Let me try one thing quick. So you had said no Cam Young, and these were 2 Cam Young lineups. I'm gonna bring back Grazerman and Pavon, and I'm actually gonna kick out Eric Cole. I don't want that much Eric Cole. So Grazerman. Who else did I say? Pavon. I don't want to bring back Jaeger, but I'm going to keep Jaeger out right now. We'll see what this does. Perfect. I like it. Maybe minus Benny Ann. If I see one more Benny Ann lineup, I'm going to kick him out. And then it breaks. Is there one other golfer that I kind of want to see it working for? I do want to see Jaeger. I'm going to do Jaeger, and I'm going to kick out the possibility of Matt Fitzpatrick, because those 2 guys are paired up together. Oh, I should probably kick out Benny Ann too. I don't want to see Benny Ann. There we go. Oh, well, there's Benny Ann. Okay, I'm going to save it. But I also don't want Benny Ann. So I'm going to bring back Steven Jaeger, and we're going to try one more time. Cole is a baller. Yeah. I don't really care. Okay, lucky number 13 for you. We got 13 lineups for you, Shy Card. I was going to call you Burnsy. You should be called Burnsy. We got a lot of Benny Ann in there. You got one Shane Lowry lineup. If you're cool with Max Homa, like I kind of like this lineup, and you know what? I'm going to mark it orange because that means caution for me. Caution, there's someone in here that you might not like. Let's see, is there anything else that I really like? I mean, these up here, I suppose, aren't terrible. I don't mind them. I just don't care for Benny Ann. Okay, well, we'll see some more lineups. We'll see some more lineups. LFG, which one did you like the best? Shelly Harden, I'm interested. All right, the next guy up is AJ Love. AJ Love, on your ready. We will go ahead and make lineups for you. Clark and Scottie. So I'll go ahead and put those guys in. This is a good combo. I like it. So we have AJ Clark and not AJ Clark, Jesus. AJ Love with Wyndham Clark and Scottie Scheffler, and he said, let's go. Timer is up. Timestamp. Run optimizer. Last one as usual. There we go. Here we go with Eric Cole and Cam Davis, which I think Eric Cole's probably going to show up a lot. That's a value. So again, if you want someone kicked, you let me know. We get Scheffler, Clark, Scott, Pendrith, Cole, and Davis. That's not terrible. I'm going to save it twice just so I can delete that one. Keep a little gap between the two. Scheffler, Clark, Theegala, Pendrith, Cole, and Pavon. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind Benny Ann. Not great form, but volatile. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't set it better. We get Scheffler, Clark, Cam Young, Brian Harmon, Cole, and Grazerman. That one's fine. Oops, you hooping on us? Good night. Scheffler, Clark, Cam Young, Taylor Pendrith, Cole, and Adam Hadwin. That one's fine. Lots of Eric Cole. Scheffler, Clark, Lowry, Pendrith, Cole, Homa. Barf. Throw the puke emojis in the chat for Homa. Yuck. Scheffler, Clark, Lowry, Pendrith, Dietrich, Eric Cole. We might as well just anchor on Eric Cole. Jesus. Kick Young. So Cam Young is going to get the boot. Cam Young. He gone. This one has Scheffler, Clark, Scott, Pendrith, Cole, and Kirk. All right, this one's fine. Scheffler, Clark, Scott, Benny Ann, Cole, and Steven Yeager. Scheffler, Clark, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, Dunlap, and Cole. Get me all excited with Matty Fitzpatty. Scheffler, Clark, Pendrith, Harmon, Siwoo Kim, Eric Cole. All right, so I'm gonna do the right thing here and kick out Cole. Like, that's too much Cole. Too much Cole. I want to bring back Grazerman because he's decent. I'll bring back Yeager and Thomas Dietrich and Nick Dunlap. Those guys are great. I don't want them with Cole. Scottie, Clark, Scott, Norin, Dietrich, Poston. I'm not going to say that one. I don't think I can touch Poston. The rest of these I will, though. Scheffler, Clark, and Pendrith, Dietrich, Grazerman. That one's fine. Get you two more here. Dunlap and Dietrich. Love that one to go with Benny Ann and Pendrith. And the last one, Dietrich and Hoagie. Okay, that one's fine. Say that twice. All right, those were lineups for AJ Love. I did like these two. I'm not a huge fan of Eric Cole this week, so it's hard for me to like any ones that have Eric Cole in them. But for those that like Eric Cole, don't let me dissuade you from wanting to play Eric Cole. I think it's fine. And this is how you get really narrow, by the way. Narrow will lead you to winning more money, but it'll also lead you to losing more money. It's not like spread out. It's not super wide, it's super congested or super narrow. Which is fine. Just like the spear or the tip of a spear. Does more damage, either for or against. I gotta head out. Please kick Homa to start, then Cole after 3 to 5 lineups if possible. You got it, Nathan. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, who is next? We've got Josh Allen. Josh, on your ready, sir. You want Xander, Henley, and Thomas. Love it. This is definitely super different. And I appreciate you for making it different. Oh, we are 8. Oh no, we're not. We have 8 likes. I was gonna say we're 8 likes away, but we have 17 viewers. That's what it is. Ready, says Josh Allen. All right, we're gonna timestamp you. Hit that timer and build the first lineup. He wants Xander, Henley, and Thomas. First one out. Schauffele, Henley, Thomas, Cam Young, Eric Cole, Matthew Pavon. One's fine. I don't mind Matthew Pavon this week. He's actually, spoiler alert, at the top of one of these 6K combo buckets. Xander, Henley, Thomas, Benny Ann, Dietrich, Eric Cole. Kind of saw that. Pow. You want to hear the kick? Is that what it is? Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, JT, Robert McIntyre, Eric Cole, and Max Homa. I like it minus Max Homa.
Gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
Xander Schauffele, Henley, Thomas, Benny Ann, Eric Cole, Adam Hadwin. That one's fine. Don't mind that one.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too
and then it breaks. It breaks, Josh Allen. Who do we need? I'm gonna bring back McIntyre, but I'm going to kick out Eric Cole. See if this will run. It doesn't. So we're missing something. What are we missing? Do you want me to kick? Oh, it's probably last week once. Nothing is over. Recent form 3s, maybe. Wait, no, we're good there. All right. So Josh, here's what I'll do. I think what we need to do. Pick Thomas. I wonder what it is. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I just want to see what is our pain point. I'll bring this all back. I just want to see what's causing the issue. So we want 2, we got 4. We want 2 here, 1. So the last week ones. That's what's kind of preventing us. I think we changed that to a 1 anyways. We don't need 2. Strokes gain 1. I think I also changed that to a 1. Definitely didn't have 1 there. What am I missing? Max of 2. Oh, stroke chain 2. We got 0 stroke chain 2 golfers. You know what? I don't know if it really matters. We look at our stroke chain golfers that are in this 2 bucket. Hovland, Oberg, Burns, Wyndham Clark, J-Day, Fitzpatrick, McIntyre, Dietrich, Hadwin, Matthew Pavon. That's why I chose Matthew Pavon and Dietrich down, and McIntyre, by the way. But I can't do the rest of them. So you know what? That's fine. I like those golfers, so in my head, you'd want at least one of them. But I'm going to change it to a 0. And we're just going to continue on. I'm going to hit that timer, and I'm going to let it run down a little bit here. I'll pick up right at the 2-minute mark. So Philip goes, I was wondering if anything would happen with the bucket system of the field being reduced every week and having some golfers, just not enough options to follow all the bucket rules. Yeah, but the bucket system does include how many golfers are in each bucket every single week. So it does fluctuate, because like it looks at how many golfers are in that bucket this week, and it multiplies by the success rate and there are a couple other conditions that go into it. So it should be pretty malleable. It should be pretty flexible. But then we also use our eyeballs just to make sure like certain buckets are not, you know, really screwy or whatever I'm looking for, the word I'm looking for. Anyways, going back to Josh Allen. We get Schauffele, Henley, JT, Bobby McIntyre, Brian Harman, Cam Davis. Didn't build that one yet. Benny Ann, Harman, Chris Kirk. That one's fine. Alex Norton gets added to this one with Harman and Eckroat. I kind of like that. Like I'm never a fan of Brian Harman. Never a fan of Brian Harman. But in a lineup like that, that's fine. I think it's fine. Benny Ann, Dunlap, and Tom Hoagie. Love that lineup. Norin Zalatoris and Siwoo Kim. That lineup is a spicy lineup. That has volatility. Like if there was a definition of volatility, it's that lineup right there. And then we break it. Yet again, we break it. Man, oh man, oh man. Was it course history 2s? Should I just move this to a 1? I don't actually think that's the reason why it breaks. No. Are we following like issues here? I wonder. Okay. I will build you like 5 more lineups without Justin Thomas in it, which I actually think that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of JT myself, but I think the lineups we just built are just fine, honestly. Cam Young, Pendrith, Harmon, Davis. Sure, I'll save that one just because. But I also don't really care for that lineup. Siwoo Kim, I'm not saving it. J-Day, Bradley, Poston. I'm not saving that one either. Lowry, Harmon, and Jaeger. Sure, not a favorite. Like those the 3 of those golfers are just kind of gross. Xander, Wyndham, Henley, Pendrith, Keegan, Grazerman. I actually like that lineup quite a bit. And then one more good one. Okay, I'm kicking out Harmon. I can't do Harmon and Cam Young together, but you know what? I don't even want to see Harmon and Cam Young, period. Nick Dunlap, though, I should bring back. I'll bring him back, and I'm going to kick out Keegan. And I'm going to bring back Jaeger. Probably should bring back Grazerman also. I will not be doing Straka. Jaeger, Grazerman. I don't mind Tom Hoagie. Okay, we'll see what these ones do. Oh, DFS Geekz, what's going on, man? Denny McCarthy, okay. Yeah, let's see, how many lamps did we build you? We got you 12. That's good. We got you 12. I was feeling guilty I didn't build you enough because of all the different, like, time issues. True, I really like how you've been going through every past few weeks and making little adjustments. That's the thing, is like, who was I talking to? I remember, I'm not going to disclose his name, but he was saying, man, I don't know how you can put out as much content as you do and then still build lineups and be competitive in DraftKings. And for the truth of the matter is, I wasn't really being competitive in DraftKings because I was being really lazy with my lineup building. And so I was getting on a really bad streak of not making as much money. And it was bothering me. It's like, well, what the heck? Like, the buckets are still proving to be successful. Why am I not building lineups if I'm following these rules? Absolutely. And I thought to myself, it's because I was lazy. I was lazy. I was taking a lot of lineups that I'd built for you guys and not really like sitting down looking at each of the buckets and going, you know what? I need to remove, like, this bucket needs to be less than what it's showing. Because when I look at the golfers in that bucket, pretty much like you're going to get tournaments where Scottie Scheffler's going to come in and he's going to just demolish whatever like small thing or whatever thing that the bucket system says, hey, we're supposed to see 2 guys from this bucket. Well, when Scottie's in a bucket with, say, Xander, those 2 guys are already kicking people out of the top 10. So those buckets that I would normally be choosing from, if I were just to objectively look, or not even so much objectively, it'd be subjectively look at the buckets, I'd be like, that bucket has no chance of putting 2 golfers inside the top 10, period. Look at how garbage those golfers are. And sometimes a bucket has been used to producing top 10 finishers because of volume alone. And if it has a higher volume, but not as high as the average volume of that bucket, we kind of know that it's probably due to fail to some extent. And that's, again, where you just got to use your eyes and figure it all out. And that's just what I hadn't been doing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to use the stream to do it. Show you guys what I do. Because that's also the whole point of building lineups Wednesday night for you guys. Is I'm actually going through my whole process, talking it through and being like, no. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I've seen throughout the industry. This is what happens when I've built some lineups. This is what I want. And then it works out. It works out a little bit more. Like the last 2 weeks have been very encouraging. I've been taking my time, doing my research, and building good lineups and having good results. DFS Geekz, I need to put you in. DFS Geekz, is this a lineup you want me to build around? Let me know, because I don't think that's gonna work out. We shall see. Good night. If you're still here, on your ready, I'll timestamp and we'll build lineups for you. Josh Allen, you're welcome, by the way. Philip, I do. I do a live show for members who pay $4.99 and above. So the white tier on this YouTube channel, they get access to live only. Good night. I'm changing my golfers Cantlay, JT, and Wyndham Clark. Okay. Cantlay, JT, Wyndham Clark. All right. I'll go down here and I will replace the pin. Go back up. Try to see some of these here. Did I have Lombardi in there? I don't. Lombardi. He came after EricCarnivore. Darrel, Mooney. And then it was Lombardi Lee. And then EricCarnivore. Okay. Lombardi Lee wanted Scottie and Bhatia. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, gotcha. I don't remember what I signed up for, but I'll have to upgrade if I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I see you got a badge. So if you don't see a notification come through Wednesdays, because I usually post it around noon, maybe 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, I go live at 9 p.m. and I'm on until I finish building lineups. I'm there to talk, but I'm basically talking through my strategy for building lineups for that week. And then I go ahead and I put them into DraftKings, but I don't show you which contests I put them in because I'd be breaking TOS that way. But yeah. All right, good night. Whenever you're ready. When you say ready, I'll start building lineups. All right. He said he's ready. Here we go. Timestamp that. Timer. Build the first lineup. We get Cantlay, Clark, JT, Adam Scott, Pendrith, and Cole. That's pretty good. That lineup was very solid. Very balanced. 998876. That was the build to do last week. This one has Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Young, Pendrith, and Homa. Gross. Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Adam Scott, Brian Harmon, Cam Davis. That one's pretty solid. Don't mind that one at all. Clark, Cantlay, Connors, Thomas, Pendrith, Pavon. I actually like that lineup a lot. You awake? No pun. No pun intended. Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Theegala, Harmon, and Grazerman. No issues there. I don't mind Grazerman. We get Pendrith and Hadwin to go with that previous four we just said. Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, and Theegala. This one has Cantlay, Clark, Connors, JT, Harmon, and JT Poston. Two JTs make a right, doesn't it? Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Scott, Fitzpatrick, and Chris Kirk. I like that lineup a lot. Anytime we can get to Fitzpatrick, naturally, I'm all game. Cantlay, Clark, JT, Adam Scott, Harmon, and Dietrich. I don't mind that one. That one's a pretty solid lineup. This one's pretty solid too. Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Pendrith, Harmon, and Dunlap. I just don't have faith in JT for all 4 rounds. Yeah, same. Either JT, I don't have faith for 4 rounds. This one's interesting. Cantlay, Clark, JT, Matt Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, Siwoo Kim. I don't mind that one. Adam Scott with Hoagie to go with Pendrith. I love that, actually. That one's a really good lineup. I like it a lot. Cantlay, Clark, JT, Scott, Harmon, and Jaeger. Okay, we're leaving $700 on the table. All right, I don't want that much Harmon. Like, I think Harmon's gonna kill you. Dunlap will bring back. We'll bring back Jaeger. I'll bring back Grazerman, Cam Davis, Hoagie, and we'll do Cole. That's fine. Has anyone heard from Joanne at all? Yeah, I saw her in Byron's chat yesterday. So I know she is still out and about, but yeah, I don't know. Might not have time. Who knows? Cantlay, Clark, JT, Scott, Pendrith, and Cole. Pick Harmon. And now it's a duplicate. Okay. So, how many lamps did we get you there? We got you some good ones. We got you 12. That's perfect. I'm trying to build you guys at least 10 lineups. So, if we get over 10, all the better. But we got to keep the show moving on. At Love, I think she was on a UFC stream, was watching last week. Okay. Alrighty, so that was for Goodnight. Goodnight 95. And who is on deck? Who's the next one? Philip Hall, on your ready, sir. Let me find yours. Hovland and Cantlay. I like seeing a Hovland start. This should make for interesting lineups. Yeah, on your ready, Philip, I will timestamp you and build lineups. Red Eye. And good night, don't mind me. I joke around, all in good fun. Alrighty. Philip says he is red eye, as in like Forrest Gump would say ready. Timestamp, we timer, we optimizer. That's pretty good. Hovland, Cantlay, Justin Thomas, Cam Young, Eric Cole, Matt Chu Pavone. So that's all right. Interesting that I went that route. Hovland, Cantlay, Justin Thomas, Scott, Cole, and Davis. And I don't have JT locked in, by the way. Justin Thomas is not locked in. Hovland, Cantlay, Young, Day, Cole, Homa. Probably hate that lineup the most because I can't stand Homa, and J Day is one of those that's like right there with them, but not completely. Hovland, Oberg, Cantlay, Harmon, Cole, Kirk. That's a hell of a lineup. We get two 10Ks and a 9K. That's pretty good. Hovland, Cantlay, Justin Thomas, Pendrith, Harmon, Cole. Pretty safe. Pretty simple. Kick JT after one more and Homa. Homa probably already got kicked out, but yeah, I hear you. This lineup is pretty good. Hovland, Cantlay, Finau, Harmon, Dietrich, Grazerman. So we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to kick out Thomas right now because we know he's going to be in there. And if Homa didn't already get the kick, which he did, that's fine. You know what, AJ, I was thinking that too yesterday, believe it or not, when I think I saw her come into Byron's stream. I was thinking just right before, it's like, where the heck is Joanne? I haven't seen her in forever. Hovland, Cantlay, Finau, Pendrith, Dietrich, Hadwin. It's pretty good. I don't mind that lineup at all. Hovland, Cantlay, Young, Pendrith, Harmon, Dietrich. That one's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Harmon. Yeah, that one's, it's very volatile. Cam Young, Siwoo Kim. Yikes. Cam Young, Adam Scott, Dunlap, and JT Poston. Bring back Cole, he says. Give me back my Cole. Cole is back. This one is Cantlay, Cam Young, Pendrith, Harmon, and Hoagie. Hoagie beans. And then Eric Cole's going to get the kick. So you're going to have to figure out who you want kicked outside of Cole if you want Cole to come back. I am going to go ahead and kick out Harmon. I'm making an executive decision. 13 seconds left. Harmon's getting the boot. And totally redeem myself, actually. Pendrith and Cole, that's such a common combo. Okay, we get a little slightly different lineup here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kick out Cam Young. I'm going to kick out Taylor Pendrith. I'm going to kick these guys out and see what it gives me. I miss Joanne as well. We get Hovland, Cantlay, Scott, Day, Zalatoris, and Cole. I'm going to say no to J-Day. I'm looking for the holy shit, this is a sweet lineup. That's what I'm looking for. And it's not happening right there. That's not going to do it either. This does it for me. Okay, cool. Hovland, Cantlay, Connors, Noren, Dunlap, and Cole. I like that lineup a lot. We got a few more lineups out of that. It just all flowed out pretty decently. That was 14 lineups. It's pretty good. Do that, and then we'll move on to the next person, which is somebody. So that was Hovland, Cantlay for Philip Hall. Joshua Maz is here in the chat. I see him. He wants Theegala and Thomas. So Josh Maz, on your ready, we'll build some lineups. The Theegs. So 87-88. That's banana sandwich. Look at me missing people. Jeez. Okay. I see Joshua Maz in the chat, but I forgot to type him down. Lego, he says. $6,300 Grazerman or Eckroat. Darrel, the answer is yes. Either or, like they're both fine. All right, Maz, here's your timestamp. Timer's on the board, and we hit run optimizer. Thank you. We were on the exact same page as that. Perfect. Rory, JT, Sahith, J-Day, Cole, and Homa. That was gross. Those were great lineups, but they were just missing a little something, needed a little extra tinkering. Probably, yeah. Xander, JT, Theegala, Adam Scott, D-Tree, and Eric Cole. All right, that's fine. Cole is just going to have astronomical ownership from us by the end of the night. Ooh, we get a Scheffler lineup. Scheffler, Thomas, Theegala, Pendrith, Cole, and Hadwin. That one's fine. The first time that the optimizer just selected Scottie naturally. And then we get a natural Xander, Justin Thomas, Theegala, Day, Cole, and Cam Davis. That one's fine. Ooh, Adam Scott and Pavon to go with Cole, Theegala, Thomas, and Xander. We're getting a lot of Xander love right now. Rory gets added to the mix. Okay, so we got a lineup here. We get a combo of players that just put in a ton of different combos. McElroy, JT, Sahith Theegala, Matty Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Cole. Cole's actually going to get the boot. That's interesting. Cole is a good play. I think we just got like 7 lineups with Cole in it. Cantlay, JT, Theegala, Day, Pendrith, Harmon. It's fine. Got no issues with that. McElroy, JT, Theegala, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Grazerman. I like that lineup a lot. McElroy, JT, Theegala, Day, McCarthy, Poston. I don't think so. There's too much uncertainty with that lineup. Cantlay, Thomas, Theegala, Day, Pendrith, and Keegan Bradley. Keegan. Ugh. Gross. I mean, it's not a Northeast golf course, but does it play like one? Maybe Colorado is the new New England. Probably not. Xander, JT, Theegala, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Kirk. I think that one's fine. I actually don't mind that lineup at all. I like it a lot. Rory, JT, Theegala, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, Hoagie. I like those last two a ton. These are great lineups. We are at the top of the hour, so if you're sticking around, we're going to do another roll call. Cantlay, JT, Theegala, Dave, Fitzpatrick, and Siwoo Kim, or as Ric Flair likes to say, Cantlay, JT, Theegala, Dave. We already did that one. Sorry. Let me hit the optimizer. Time is up. So last one. Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, Theegala, J-Day, Fitzpatrick, and Pendrith. 3 8K golfers. Alrighty. Those were not bad. What do we get you? Like 12 also? 13. Lucky number 13. Cool, cool, cool. All right, Josh, those were your lineups. We move on to the next one, and we got Nathan Johnson, who said, or he left. Let's see, what did he say? He wanted certain players removed after a while. I think it was Cole and Homa. Got to head out. Please kick Homa to start, then Cole after 3 to 5 lineups. There we go. Simple rules, man. And I don't blame him. But he wants Rory and Finau just for contrarian lineups. So we will build 3 minutes of lineups for Mr. Nathan Johnson. And again, he wants Rory and Finau, so we timestamp that. And get our timer ready. So the timestamp, the timer, these are lineups for Nathan Johnson. We get Rory, Finau, Day, Pendrith, Harmon, and Cole. Cole's just going to get the boot right away, but I think what I'm going to do is bring back Cole, kick out Harmon. He said he wanted like 4 or 5 lineups with Cole in it, so that's telling me he likes Cole enough to want to play Cole. This one has McIlroy, Finau, Day, McCarthy, Pendrith, Cole. That's fine. Fine. McIlroy, Finau, Day, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Cam Davis. I actually like that lineup a bit. That one's decent. McIlroy, Finau, Day, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Hadwin. Yeah, it's fine. I like how Fitzpatrick is showing up a lot, though. Matthew Pavon, I'm totally cool with that. Probably don't want to play too much Pendrith. Not this much. And certainly not Jason Day as much as he's shown up. McIlroy, Finau, Burns, Pendrith, Cole, and Grazerman. How many Cole lineups has that been? 2 and 3. I'm going to kick out Day. And that's fine. We'll just do this for now. Josh, you're welcome, man. Ryan says, give me Xander, Bhatia, Pendrith, and Cam Davis. Okay. Yeah. I'll add that to the list. McIlroy, Finau, Henley, Pendrith, Dietrich, and Eric Cole. Okay, that one's a bit different. It's fine. Actually, I kind of do like that one a little bit. McIlroy, Finau, Scott, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Poston. I'm going to highlight these before I forget, too. I like them both. I also do like this one too. Probably more than the other ones. Okay. Chris Kirk gets added to this one. It's not much of a difference from the previous one. Steven Yeager, sure. I'll save that one. I do like Yeager this week. McIlroy, Finau, Burns, Pendrith, Cole, Eckroat. I like that. Jeez, the last 5 lineups honestly have been pretty good. I don't want Eckroat like this. Yeah, these are pretty solid Rory lineups so far. I got no issue with them. McIlroy, Finau, Bezadenhout, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Hoagie. I love it. I'm kicking out Pendrith. Too much Pendrith. Way too much Pendrith. I don't even like Pendrith this week. McIntyre gets added to the list, but you know what? I'm going to build you one more because I want to add at least Grazerman back to the mix. See if it chooses someone. If not, I'll bring back Yeager. We do get Grazerman back. Did we save this? Is this a dupe? It is not. Okay, cool. It's Rory, Finau, Connors, Fitzpatrick, Cole, and Grazerman. Here, let me bring back Steven Yeager and see if the optimizer builds me one with Yeager in it. It does. Gives me Henley, Fitzpatrick, Cole, Yeager. And that is not a dupe either, so yeah, those last couple lineups were pretty fantastic. Okay. So we got Nathan. How many lineups? We got him lucky number 13 as well. Cool. Let me go ahead and add Ryan Henson's lineup. Okay. All right. So Ryan, you're 5th on the list here. So Darrel Mooney is next. Darrel, are you in the chat, sir? If you are in the chat, give me a let's go, or ready. At your ready, sir. Darrel Mooney's here. There we go. I'm ready. No Pendrith, Homa, nor JT. Is that JT Poston or Justin Thomas? And inside last minute, you can remove Eric Cole. Okay. So right away, he does not want Pendrith. No Homa. Good call. And yeah, I need to know, is it Justin Thomas or JT Poston? I imagine it's Justin Thomas. Oh, both. Okay. Okay. So it's Scottie, Cantlay. And Eric Cole. But then we can kick Cole with 1 minute left to go. Okay. I'm going to timestamp it and get the timer on the screen. Here we go. Timestamp, timer, run optimizer. And we get Scheffler, Cantlay, J-Day, Harman, Cole, Pavon. That one's fine. Got no issues with that. Scottie, Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, Harman, Cole, Davis. Sure. The only one I don't really care for is Brian Harman. Scheffler, Cantlay, Day, Keegan Bradley, Cole, Adam Hadwin. That one's fine. It's not like particularly sexy, but it's fine. This one's interesting. We get Scheffler, Cantlay, Day, Harman, Cole, Steven Jaeger. Again, Harman's like, eh. Scheffler, Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, Harman, Cole, Grazerman. Scheffler, Cantlay, Noren, Harman, Dietrich, Eric Cole. That one's fine. No Day. Yeah. J-Day is getting the boot. Let's see, which ones did we have just Jason Day in there with? Jaeger and Hadwin and Pavon. I'm gonna bring back Jaeger. I'm a sucker for Jaeger, man. Could be my downfall, but I like him at this event. Did we save this one already? We did not. Scheffler, Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, Harman, Cole, and Jaeger. Scheffler, Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, Noren, Eric Cole, Chris Kirk. Love that lineup. I might love this lineup even more. Scheffler, Cantlay, McIntyre, Noren, Cole, Eckroat. It's really good. All right. We got maybe two more, I think. Oh, we break it. So this is where we're going to kick out Cole right now. And then we break it yet again. Who do we need to bring back? I will kick out Cole and bring back the rest of the 6Ks. Just so you know. Minus the ones we've already kicked out. How do I feel about McIntyre? I like him. So, with the other ones kicked out, we get Scheffler, Cantlay, Benny Ann, Harman, Dietrich, Cam Davis. That one's fine. Love the last one with McIntyre. Scheffler, Cantlay, Benny Ann, Harman, Dunlap, and Pavon. And I'm actually going to kick out Harman and bring back Dunlap. Or who was it that I need to bring back? Pavon or Dietrich? I think I'm going to bring back Dietrich. I also like Dietrich this week. Perfect. Perfect. There we go. Scheffler, Cantlay, Benny Ann, McCarthy, Dietrich, Davis. There we go. Love it. Did we get you about 13 lineups? 13 or 14? 12. We got you 12. 12's fine. Not huge on Harman, but these lineups here with Scottie Scheffler I think are fine. I like those lineups. Okay. We'll clear this all out. Thanks I see 2 that I like. Perfect. Hey man, that's kind of like the, I wouldn't say that's the goal is to get a minimum amount, but I do want to get at least 1 lineup that you like, because I know there's a lot of people that just play 1 lineup. But if I can build you 1 lineup that you can maybe cascade off of or build around or something like that, that's perfect. Okay. We timestamped that. I need to find Lombardi Lee. His message was like hidden. Okay. Lombardi, are you still here, sir? He wants Scottie and Bhatia. We'll see when he answers. And then we'll go from there. So Scottie, Scheffler, and then Bhatia's 7. I thought it was 7K. 7 something, right? Bhatia 84. I was way off. Way off. I'm gonna have to give him a little bit of a bonus because I think he's going to be too small of a value. Lombardi, let me know. I'm gonna put a timer up. If you don't get me back to me in like 30 seconds, I'm gonna run lineups without you. With or without you. All right. No Lombardi. Lombardi, if you do show up, let me know. But I'm going to build lineups for him. I'll make decisions for him. Let's go ahead. Let's timestamp that. And build us some lineups. Timestamp, timer, and optimizer. There we go. Scheffler, Burns, Bhatia, Harmon, Cole, Cam, Davis. Love it. Scheffler, Bhatia, Day, Pendrith, Harmon, Cole. That one's fine. Cole's getting the boot, though. That's kind of interesting. Scheffler, Young. Cam Young, that is. Bhatia, Pendrith, Harmon, Hadwin. That's fine. I'm already done seeing Harmon. Lombardi, I hope you didn't want to see Harmon, but I can't stomach it anymore. Scheffler, Bhatia, Day, Benny Ann, Bradley, Homa. It's a perfect terrible lineup. Yeah, I can't do that lineup. That's just what do we know about this tournament, right? It's gross. Scheffler, Young, Bhatia, Lowry, Dietrich, Poston. The Hobbit, yeah, I know. This one is gross as well. These are such contrarian lineups. Like, these are lineups I don't think anyone else is building. Scheffler, Theegala, Bhatia, Noren, Straka, Pavon. Like, I don't think anyone's building that lineup. Just too many no-namers. Scheffler, Henley, Bhatia, Noren, Dietrich, Kirk. That one's fine. Scheffler, Young, Bhatia, Noren, Siwoo Kim, and Thomas Dietrich. That one's fine. Not a huge fan of Siwoo. And then it breaks. So let's see, what can I do? Let's bring back some of these 6K golfers like Cole, Davis, probably Kirk, and then let's see, who did we have with him a lot? So I don't want Bradley. I think he already got kicked. I don't want Bradley or Straka. Bradley or Straka or Cam Young. So I'm going to kick out Cam Young right away. Straka. Who was the last one? I think Keegan Bradley was already kicked, right? Bradley at 7,000. Yeah, he already got kicked. Okay. We'll build a couple more. Scheffler, JT, Bhatia, Fitzpatrick, Cole, Davis. That one seems decent. And our last one is Scheffler, Bhatia, Lowry, Fitzpatrick, Cole, and Grazerman. That one's fine too. Like, I got no issues with that one. Leaving $600 on the table, and that's fine. It's a playoff event. I think we're leaving a lot of money on the table. So we got 10 for Lombardi, which is fine. 10, and we had a bit of a hiccup because we hit some of the bucket conditionals. Okay, next person, Eric Carnivore. Sir, are you here? Are you here, Mr. Carnivore? He wants Xander and Wyndham Clark, so I'll queue that up, and on your ready, I will build lineups for you. Xander and Wyndham. I think we did a Scottie and Wyndham lineup earlier, so this one will be very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and put the clock up on. It's 30 seconds. Okay. We're going to timestamp this. Timer. Optimizer. And we get Xander, Patrick Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harman, Cole, and Davis, which is just a common theme. The Cole and Cam Davis one. With Harman, of course. Good luck, Harden. See you, man. Xander, Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Pendrith, Harman, and Eric Cole. I am already going to get rid of Harman. Actually, no. I'll build 2 more lineups with Harman in it, and then I'll get rid of them. We get Xander, Clark, JT, Pendrith, Harman, Homa, which obviously we don't really care for. Shoffley, Clark, Connors, Pendrith, Harman, and Grazerman. I like that lineup. Xander, Clark, Cam Young, Pendrith, Harman, and D-Tree, which is fine. And one more Harman lineup before I give him the boot. There it is. It's Xander, Wyndham Clark, Henley, Pendrith, Harman, and Kirk. So we kick out Harman, and I want to bring back Cole because he'll probably show up a bit. And Grazerman's fine. So too is Cam Davis. I think. We'll see. If I get another Eric, Cole, Cam Davis with like Pendrith, I'll probably close. We get Shoffley, Clark, Theegala, Scott, Cole, and Davis, which is fine. It's whatever. Shoffley, Clark, Scott, Lowry, Cole, Grazerman. Sure, why not? Shoffley, Clark, Lowry, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Eric Cole. That one's fine. No issues there. Xander, Clark, Young, Bhatia, Siwoo Kim, JT Poston. Sure, why not? Xander, Clark, Cam Young, Benny Ann, Pendrith, and Adam Hadwin. No, that one's fine. No issues there. Xander, Finau, Clark, Pendrith, Siwoo Kim, and Pavon. That's a 10, 2 9s, a 7, and 2 6s, which is fine. 10, 9, 8, 8, 7, 6 here. Shoffley, Clark, Bhatia, Scott, Bradley, and Steven Yeager. Actually, I like that lineup a lot. Shoffley, Clark, Theegala, Benny Ann, Pendrith, Pavon. That one's fine. Shoffley, Clark, Scott, Pendrith, Bradley, and Dunlap. 7 seconds left. One last one. We get Sepp Straka. It's fine. Shoffley, Clark, Connors, Pendrith, Straka, and Hoagie. It's an interesting lineup. It's a lot of lineups we built there. So that one's deleted. What do we get? 15? Yeah, we got 15 lineups for you. That's crazy. Xander, Wyndham. That one I don't mind. The other ones that I just can't live without. Last one's interesting. I think that's it, man. I'm not a huge fan of Cam Young. I don't want this much Pendrith, and I also don't want that much Harmon. It's like Matt Fitzpatrick I like, but it's a lot of Pendrith and Cole. A lot of lineups doing that this week. All right, so let me go ahead and make this update to Akshay. And we will move on to the next one. So if you're in the chat, let me know. DFS Geekz. DFS Geekz, are you here? We will have to break rules for you because we don't want, typically we don't want that many 6K golfers in a lineup, but we can always make the exception. So you want Cole, Eckroat, and Dunlap. Oh man, yeah, I said top of the hour and I didn't even do it. Okay. Sorry for those that have been waiting. Let's just put in sweet spot. Just put in the word sweet spot. Actually, we're not breaking anything. We can do that and then just change this to a 3. Dang, I missed my picks. You just missed them, Eric. You just missed them. These are your lineups right here. You want to take a screenshot of that, pause it, take a screenshot. These are the lineups I built. We got you 15. Thank you for the reminder, AJ. Anybody else that's in the chat that wants an entry to the giveaway, just put in Sweet Spot. Just like what Eric and AJ did. Okay. DFS Geekz I don't think is here. So I will go ahead and I bet you were walking your dog. All right, I'm gonna hit the timer for DFS Geekz. Again, not here. But if he does show up, we can make some adjustments then. But here we go. We're gonna go ahead and hit the timestamp. Timer, optimizer. We get Xander and Rory to go with J-Day. For AZ, we're going to kick out J-Day. It looks like I'm going to have to manually kick out people as we go through this. We'll run lineups until we can't. Because I have a feeling it's probably going to break at some point in time. Scottie, Morikawa, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Wow. I actually really like that lineup. So this one sucks. I'm gonna have to kick out. I'm gonna kick out Morikawa because there's more flexibility with the lineups by choosing other players. This one has Scheffler, Hovland, Pendrith. Sure, I'm not a huge fan of Pendrith, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove Pendrith. We get Alex Noren. I like that one. Gonna have to kick out Noren. McIlroy, Fleetwood, Burns. Wow, that's a solid lineup. Yeah, these lineups are dangerous. Oh, I think I'm gonna kick out Burns. Sammy Biscuits. We get Victor Hovland, Cantlay, Fleetwood, Dunlap, Cole, Eckroat. That one's fine. Kick out Fleetwood. And it breaks. Okay. So let's bring back Norin. See what happens. Scheffler, Hovland, Norin, Dunlap. Did we already? Yeah, we did this one. So I'm gonna kick out Hovland. Actually, let me kick out Scottie. I'm gonna bring back Morikawa. See what happens. Probably just breaks. Does not. We get Victor Hovland, Morikawa, Cantlay. Solid. Let's kick out Hovland. Then it breaks. Well. Let's see here. Probably bring back Scottie, but kick out. Yeah, I'll bring back Scottie and kick out Hovland. Scottie, Morikawa, Fitzpatrick. I think we have that one. Yep. So we'll kick out Fitzpatrick. And it breaks. Okay. Time's up. Well, that was a difficult one because normally we don't do 3 6K golfers like that. But the fact that we built some lineups that were pretty tasty, that is it's pretty good. All right, Mr. Henson, are you still here, sir? You were the last person to build lineups for. So I will give you 30 seconds to respond. If you're here, let me know. Tell me you're ready, and we will build lineups on your go. He wants Xander, Bhatia, Pendrith, Cam Davis. There we go. All right, so Xander, Bhatia, Pendrith, and Cam Davis. All right, so we will timestamp, timer, optimizer. And the very first lineup we get is Xander Schauffele, Cam Young, Bhatia, J-Day, Harmon, and Eric Cole. That's not right. I must have hit no for Cam Davis. I sure did. And I put no for Davis too. Okay, let's try this again. Or not Davis, for Pendrith. We get Xander, Wyndham Clark, Bhatia, Pendrith, Harmon, and Cam Davis. I will be kicking out Harmon. Kick Day. Yeah, Day's already kicked. Schauffele, Clark, Bhatia, Fitzpatrick, Pendrith, and Cameron Davis. I love that. Give me all the Fitzpatrick I can get. I'm going to kick out Wyndham Clark for now. I want to see if Fitzpatrick shows up again. Nope. Burns and Norin do, though, and that's fine. I like Norin. I'm going to bring back him and kick out Fitzpatrick. Xander, Clark, Bhatia, Benny Ann, Pendrith, and Cam Davis. This one's fine. We'll kick out Benny Ann. I know AJ. It's been a while since we've been up this late. I'm feeling it. We get McCarthy, which is fine. McCarthy's not... I mean, like, if I'm owning him in 10% of my lineups, and I'm not even owning him in 10%, I'm probably owning him in 4%. That's fine. This one's interesting. We get Xander and then Hovland, Bhatia, Pendrith, Cole, Cam Davis. I like that lineup quite a bit. We're going to kick out Cole. Shoffley, Clark, Bhatia, Noren, Pendrith, Davis. Pretty solid. Let's see, what do we need to get rid of here? Noren. I do like Noren a lot. I like my 7K range is Noren or Fitzpatrick. And this one, did we already save? Oh no, this one has Keegan Bradley in it. So we have not done a Keegan Bradley lineup yet. Girlfriend said you were still optimizing. I'm still trying to optimize. You're right. Still trying. Shoffley, Clark, Bhatia, McIntyre, Pendrith, and Cammy Boy Davis. That one's pretty solid. It has Bobby Mack in it. So Ryan, these are pretty good lineups that are coming through the screen. And then we get Sepp Straka here, leaving $700 on the table. I don't know how I feel about that one. And it breaks. Cool. So we were one away from it breaking, and the timer is up. So Ryan Henson, we got you some lineups built there. We got you 9 with some strict rules. So that's great. Lineup building's over. I am far too tired, and it's 11:30. So if anyone has any questions, go ahead, leave them in the chat. Yeah, building lineups tonight. Cole showed up a ton. Pendrith showed up a ton. I guess if we looked at our percentages here, Cam Davis was 17%, but Ryan Henson just anchored him. Cole was anchored, but he just got picked up a ton. 50% of the lineups. Pendrith was in 50% of the lineups. 19.6 went to Matt Fitzpatrick. 15.4 went to Benny Ann. 27% went to Justin Thomas, but that's because he was anchored. Wyndham Clark was anchored and wasn't anchored. 30%. Cantlay was 30%. No Hideki Matsuyama. No Billy Horschel. No Sung J M. No Aaron Rai. Although I think there was one Rai lineup that I didn't save that was built. And everything else was at least 1%. So the only guys that weren't played were Sung J, Billy, Hideki, and I think that's it. Just those 3. That's wild. Crazy. All right. Since there are no questions left, we're gonna call this stream over. Tomorrow, Clark, Pendrith, Cole. We'll see. Tomorrow I'll be building labs for myself, sir. I'll show you the lineups that I'm looking for. But we're gonna call our quits. Like I said, I'm tired. So I appreciate you all being here. Please leave a like on your way out, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.